person, or that must, I'm guessing that one person is you.
Probably me, yeah.
We'll wait to see. I'll wait for another number count to come in.
How long have you been doing this for?
Um, I used to. Well, there was another YouTuber. I used to kind of like be co-host, kind of sort of thing. We used to review Crystal Swirl videos together.
Oh, here it is. It's on now, and it's actually a little delayed.
Okay. Oh, so you're watching it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I heard the if you could turn the volume down because I can
Yep.
hear myself.
Yep. Yep. All right.
Okay. Hello, who's ever in the chat? I can't really see. I want to turn my TV on.
No one yet. I guess it says four watching, but I haven't seen.
Yeah, we
Oh, we
got
can't
four.
see who's in. I guess that's how
Yeah.
it works. Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna get started. Hello, YouTube. This is Angel Charms, and I am here with my first live. Let's talk about it. And I have a special guest. Would you like to go ahead and introduce yourself, and we will get started?
Hey everybody, it's Maestro. It's Crystal Swirl's favorite pedo Chad. What am I? Breadcrumb Chad. Yeah, or Brad. Breadcrumb Brad. That's it. Breadcrumb Brad. Good
Yes,
God.
yes, breadcrumb Brad. Okay. So, well, let's start. Could you tell us how you and your ex now? Okay, hey Nisha. Okay, Nisha's in the chat. Yeah, they're gonna. Okay, hey Nisha, could you just go ahead and tell us how you and Sasha first met?
All right, so it's a dating site. It doesn't have an app. It's only a desktop site, and I believe the one that she was on is Swirl, and the one that I was on is called Afro Romance, and
Mhm.
they're owned by the very same company. So if you put a profile on one, it automatically puts the profile on the other. I found that out because I had become a member of Afro Romance many years ago. I have a lifetime membership. I paid a one-time fee, lifetime membership. If I get into a relationship, I deactivate it. If I end up single again, I go back on it. And I had heard of Swirl, so I went on to Swirl to create an account. And when I went on to Swirl, as soon as I clicked in the box to like type in a username, my other username from the other site came up, and I'm like, huh? And I just put it in there. I let it go. I let it autofill. Clicked to log in, and sure enough, I was on Swirl with the same profile. And I was like, oh shit, they're owned by the same company. So what happened was I saw her profile. I was looking through it. I hadn't been on there in like a while, man. Um, and I was looking through it, and I skimmed through, and I was like, okay, she put that she was in a state that she doesn't actually live in. So, but that state was closer to me. So, I wrote to her and I said, "Hey, I'd be interested in knowing what podcast you listen to." Because when she in her profile bio, she said, "I listen to I'm a podcast listener," and I don't know. She said something about she likes singing, music, watching podcasts. Well, I like watching podcasts, even though it's more manosphere stuff, but not always. There's other stuff I watch too, and so that I guess triggered me to be able to come up with a conversation a starter. Ugh. Sometimes people don't put much information in their profile, and it makes it like kind of bland. All you can really do is say, "Hey," but when somebody actually describes themselves, it gives you a conversation starter. So the podcast thing was it for me. So I
Okay.
just skimmed through it real quick, and I saw that, and I said, "Hey, I'd be interested in knowing what podcast you listen to." And then I went back to the front page, and I'm scrolling through the search, and I see the same girl's face in a different city, in a different state. And I'm like, the fuck? I'm like, oh, here we go again with these fake scammer profiles, because they do it all the time. Like all the time on that site, you'll see multiple profiles with the same person, but different names, different cities, this and that. And I'm like, that's really odd. And a lot of times it turns out that they are fake profiles, and they're just trying to target people like in every region. And a
Yeah.
lot of times that site, I have to give them props because they don't play around with the fake profile shit on there. unlike Tinders and Bumbles and Badus and all this shit, where you have like fake profiles galore. Swirl, Afro Romance, whatever, I don't know what their mother company is, they will kick this shit out of you off of that site forever. Like they go through and they say that um, there's been profiles where like you'll still see the person's picture and you click on it to go back and look at it and you'll get a page that says this profile has been deleted by the site administrator for violating rules. And I'm like, wow, they don't play on this site. So what happened was I decided to message her again on the other profile she had. And I said, didn't I just see you in another profile in another state? And she said, oh, yeah, I don't like to let people know where I really live and this and that. I actually have the screen captures of them, and I'll get to that in a moment. Um, so I'm like, okay, but you can change your location without having to, make multiple profiles. You could just always go in there and just change your location. But I think I told her that that makes it kind of look suspicious, like you're a fake profile.
Mhm.
So on one of the two profiles, I can't remember which one, but as I said, I have screen grabs of them. I offered her my phone number after a few back and forth messages. And I said in one of them, I said, well, I offered you my number on your other profile. Feel free to call or text whenever you want. Then, like the next day or whatever, I hadn't heard from her. And I went on there and I was curious. I gave her my number. I don't like the idea of throwing my number out there and person's not going to call me because I'll tell you what, ever since the first time I put my phone number out to somebody in these dating apps and shit, I get blown up with scam calls all day, every day. It's like, what the fuck? I'm convinced that people are taking people's phone numbers and like selling phone numbers and shit to scammers. I get all kinds of shit. But
It does it does happen, yes.
yeah. So I never heard from her. I clicked on her profile again, and son of a bitch, the profile said that the profile has been deleted by the site administrator. I'm like, oh shit, so it was a fake profile. And I went to the other one, and that one was still there, but it hadn't logged on for 24 hours because they also show you when a person has, like, how long they haven't been logged on. And a few more days go by, and I go on there, and that one is, the one that got deleted is still deleted, and the one that was still there, and now it said 3 or 4 days since last login. I'm like, wow, I guess she's a scammer, or she just like, a lot of people make profiles and then they just abandon the profile. Okay, whatever. So this was sometime towards the end of October. And then, like, about maybe a week later, in the first week of November, I wake up one day to a phone call from a phone number from another state. I won't name the state that she's in. Um, and I looked at the caller ID, and I have a habit of always clicking the end button and letting them go to my voicemail. And my voicemail will make you think that I have my number is out of service because I'm sick of these scam calls all day. So I decided, fuck it, let me see what this is. Let me answer it. So I answer it and I hear this somewhat little soft voice, but almost yelling in the phone, blasting my ear out, asking me who the fuck I am, how the fuck is my phone, how the fuck is my number in her phone. Because I'm like, lady, who are you? What are you talking about? So by this time, I don't know who the fuck I'm talking to. Like, it's been like 5 days, 6 days, right? And she's like, you're that guy at the party last night. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And she's like, you took my phone and you put your number in it. What the fuck? I'm like, holy shit, lady, who are you? I
What?
don't know who you are. And
Why
she's
people
insisting, I know it's you. You were stalking me at that party. And I looked at the caller ID and I said, honey, we are a 17 to 20-hour drive away from each other. There is no way I was at a party last night and I'm home in my bed right now. And she hung up on me. So I was like,
why did
what
she
the?
leave her how did she manage to leave her phone laying around for someone to put their number
That's
in?
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, man. So that was the day that I started to really move my stuff. Yeah, because I moved from one place to another, and I started moving at the end of October, early November. So I started moving because my car brand new fucking 2022. This bitch at a stoplight, was not paying attention and just slammed into me from behind.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah. So my car is in the shop and it's supposed to come out. It's supposed to be done by Friday. They're supposed to have the paint job done. Um, so I was given a rental vehicle from Enterprise, and it just turned out that the only vehicle they had to offer me for free from my insurance was this obnoxiously large SUV. And I was like, little light bulb went off in my head. So, yeah, I could use that because now I don't have to rent a van to fill up. And so it required me to make a lot of trips, but it did the job.
It worked
So
out.
yeah, it worked out. So that same day, as I'm, loading up the SUV and putting all my shit in there, right? And I get another phone call. This is like later in the morning from her again, yelling at me about how I got her phone and put my number in. I said, "Lady, I don't know who the fuck you are. What are you talking about?" She's like, "You're that guy. Yeah, I know it's you. I know it's you. Well, I'm gonna call the cops or some shit." She said. I was like, "No, whatever." And I hung up on her this time, right? So I'm moving in. I'm bringing my stuff in little by little. Now it's like 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and I get another call from the same state, and I'm like, "All right, I am going to fucking blow this girl's ears out if she fucking." And I answered the phone and I said, "Hello," right? And he goes, "Hello, this is Officer so and so from so and so police department." I said, "What?" He goes, "Do you know a Sasha?" And he said her last name to me, but I fucking whatever. But I'm like, "No." And he's like, "Well, she's got your number in her phone, and she's wondering how it got there, and something about a party last night." And I said, I am a 20-hour drive away from her. He goes, "Yeah, I can see that by your location." I said, "So how was I at a party up in the north at midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning last night? How is that possible?" He goes, "I can't make heads or tails of it, but she wants to know how your number got in." I said, "Ask her if she's been on any dating sites, any dating apps, or any Instagram, Facebook. Maybe I gave her my number on there and whatever." He goes, "Oh, I asked her that. She said no." Well, there's lie number one. So I was like, "All right." I said, "Well, I can't help you, bro. I'm way down here and I'm in the middle of moving. I don't know what to tell you." So he's like, "All right, I'll look into it, see what we can do, whatever." Okay, bye. Click. So then I'm like, "Who the fuck is this chick?" And I'm like, "Okay, I haven't given my number out to anybody on Badoo or Bumble." I was like, "Let me go check Afro Romance, aka Swirl." So I went on there because it was also the state, the city and state that came up on the caller ID that tipped me off to say, "Let me go check this." So I
Mhm.
went on there, and when I saw the message that I had sent her that said, "I left my number for you on your other account," the one that ended up getting deleted, you can't see their profile anymore, but you can. I guess because I'm a paying member, I can still see the email exchange. Um,
Mhm.
so I was like, "Oh shit." He said, "Do I know a Sasha?" Well, the profile that got deleted, she used a made up name like Slim Goddess or some shit. And in the other one from where she really is, she used her name, Sasha, with some numbers behind it. And I
Okay.
read the email. I'm like, "Oh my god, this is her." So I opened Safari on my phone. I went onto my phone and went on the phone version of it, not an app, but on Safari. And I took two screen captures of the conversation. And I called the cop back and I said, "Is this your personal phone number?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "Is it an iPhone?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "Stay on the line. I'm about to send you some photos." So I sent him the two screen captures and he goes, "Perfect. End of case. Case closed." I was like, "This is who it is." She put my number in her phone, forgot about it, probably thought I'll go call him or text him later, and then never texted me, never called me, forgot who the fuck I was. She was at some party that it turns out, okay, so after that phone call, after the cop said, "Okay, case closed. Have a nice day." I went out to eat and she called me. She called me again while I was standing in line. It was a 30-minute wait. And I'm like, she's all like, "I'm so sorry, blah, blah, blah." I'm like, "You know what? It's all good. It's water under the bridge. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. He said, no, I'm really sorry. I feel so bad and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, it's okay, Sasha. Don't worry about it. You simply put my number in your phone and then you didn't ever go back to text me or call me and you forgot who it was. So it's got to, you know what? I'll tell you what, it's got to say something about how many people might text her and call her or how much she uses her phone because I put numbers in my phone. I'll never know where they. I don't go scrolling through my phone contacts like that. Somehow, some way, my number might have been somehow right in her face, and so I told her it's okay. Don't worry about it. Blah blah blah. I said, so do you want to talk now that we're here? And she goes, well, I mean, I feel bad and blah blah blah. And I said, listen, it's water under the bridge. It's not the end of the world. So I end up going and sitting. I end up going to another restaurant right in the same parking lot because it was just ridiculously long of a wait. And I have her on the phone and we're talking while I'm ordering my food. And like the first conversation was perfect. The whole first conversation after I told her don't worry about the mix up was perfect. It was probably maybe an hour long. I think she was on the phone with me through my meal, almost to the end of my meal. Because I think I was already off the phone with her when I noticed the guy sitting next to me at the bar was also the guy that was sitting waiting for a table in the other restaurant. I turned to him and said, "Oh, so you gave up too, huh?" He goes, "Yeah, fuck that shit." And I think I was already off the phone with her at that time. So everything was good. And then she called me back the next day, or I think I texted her and I said, "Hey, good morning," or "How are you?" Whatever. And she called and I said, "Hey, what's up?" And she's like, "Oh, yeah, blah, blah, blah." And we're talking and we're having a perfectly fine conversation. And then she tried to throw it in there again about how bad she felt about calling the cops on somebody that I wasn't and having my number in there. And I said, listen, you got to let this rest. It's okay. You made a mistake. It's not the end of the world. Okay, fine. I finally convinced her to leave that alone and we continued talking. And then I think it was like either the third or fourth night where we just started talking constantly, constantly. I think I was even in the process of still moving my stuff and picking moving stuff into the vehicle and into my new home. And I had her on the phone, and I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna end the call. Like, I'll stay talking. And this is the thing, like Crystal keeps saying that I called her. I called Sasha all the time. No, other way around. Sasha was calling my phone. There's something, ever since we've been in this cell phone era, I'm not the type of person to call somebody anymore. I let the woman call me. I know a lot of women want the man to make the first move, but I fall back and I see how interested the woman is. And in this case, she was calling me a lot. And once she called me, we were on the phone all fucking day. All fucking day, all fucking night. Um so yeah, it just happened from there. And then it became a cycle. It just we went into week 2, week 3, and then this. And all that time when I was starting to talk to her and I really got a feel for her and I liked how she presented herself. I liked how she was soft spoken, feminine. She didn't come at me with this butch dyke voice like Crystal. Oh my god. Oh, I hate that. I hate you have no idea how much I hate the book. And this is the funny thing about them trying to poke fun at me and mock me because of how Sasha talks and looks and this and that. Because what's wrong with a man wanting a feminine woman? What is the problem with that? These women are as far from feminine as Pluto is from the sun. They will never be feminine. I could not imagine. She could try to put lipstick and a dress on, but you could also do the same thing to Miss Piggy, and Miss Piggy is still Miss Piggy. I do not see women like Crystal being feminine and sophisticated and even to go so much as say a little charming. I know men are supposed to be charming, but there was some kind of a charm to her. Excuse me.
So have you ever heard of Crystal before you met Sasha?
Never in my life. I had no idea. I don't know what kind of like the way the manosphere has their little thing. I don't even remember how I got started watching that stuff, but it was like if you watch one person, other people's videos come up, and then you start realizing, oh shit, there's a lot of people in this. And I nothing has ever come up on this side, whatever they're calling it. I don't even know what they're calling it. Is there a spear for this thing? I have no idea. I
Manosphere,
never
yeah.
heard of Crystal until Sasha was on the phone with me one night. Being now I know, but I didn't know at the time. Actually, being a moderator in the chat while being on FaceTime with me, I guess on her laptop. That's how
Mhm.
I heard Crystal in the background. And you know what? I'm actually in front of my laptop right now, and I'm so eager to figure out um, what live that was because I kind of want to put a timeline here of the one that I was hearing. So mm, let me look at her actual home playlist now. So we are. I think it might have been. Oh, this is the one. Yep, this is the one. So this was streamed 5 days ago. So what was 5 days ago from now? We're in Wednesday. So was that Friday night? Was that the night of Black Friday? Might be. It's called Black Woman YouTuber Gets Video Taken Down for Exposing DL HIV.
Oh, yes, I remember that one.
That's the one that she had in the background because she was the way she was talking. And I turned to Sasha and I said, she's literally scaring women. She's scaring people. Like talking about people not having sex in a marriage and even your husband can give you HIV. Like, and Sasha is absorbing this. And I saw that she's absorbing it. Now I'm as squeaky clean as Mr. Fucking Clean. I'm like zest, fresh and clean as a whistle. I can't whistle for shit. I just tried to whistle. How do they do that? Fresh and clean as a whistle. Yeah, I think it was. No, that was Irish Spring. Irish Spring. So I'm listening to her listening to this, and I'm like, this is not all true, right? This is not how everybody is. And I could just tell, like, Sasha was really, really getting into this fucking live. And I'm like, Sasha,
Ye
I'm gonna do a reaction to this because this is bullshit. And I ended up actually doing a reaction to something totally different, which I think was the one about are men ready for marriage or some crap like that.
yes, that's the one
That's
where
the one. Yeah.
the men are all drama comment
Yeah.
that you made. Yeah, I was watching that one.
So and the reason I did it to that one is because something in my mind said, what would make her do a video first talking about men who are married giving their wives HIV to going to the next level of men aren't made out for marriage. Like, do you want to marry us or are we all full of HIV? Like, what the fuck is going on here? So, as I
I
was
well,
listening,
well,
go ahead.
actually, I didn't watch the one about the HIV one. I watched the first couple of minutes, and apparently another YouTuber was the one that had somebody's video taken down, and she was pretty much congratulating that person for having that video taken down. That's what that live was about. That's all I heard of that live because I wasn't interested. But that was one of her followers also who did that
Oh,
too. And she was congratulating them on that.
congratulating them on taking that girl's video down for exposing the guy that gave her AIDS.
Or whatever the story was, yes.
That's back asswards, but okay. Um, See, I
Well,
wasn't really paying attention. Like little things were triggering me here and there as I'm doing my work on my laptop and I'm hearing it in the background and I'm hearing, oh, even with your husband, you got to wear a condom. And I'm thinking, what the fuck? I ain't wearing no goddamn condom with my wife. What the fuck is wrong with you? Um, Anyway, I know that some states do blood tests. I know that the state of Connecticut does blood tests. Um, but Yeah, so when she did the one about men not being ready for marriage or anything like that, I went on that one and just the title of it because I wanted to respond to the other one, but the title of this one caught me. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm thinking, oh, please don't let this be one of these things that's going to get into Sasha's head and blah, 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 because I know how much Sasha has made it very clear how much she likes this woman, that now after the fact, I find out she's a mod. And I'm listening to that and I'm going, oh my God, this woman is really scaring everybody. And now I see where Sasha's influence was coming from in the things that she said every now and again. And she said a few things to me. We had a few, like in that 3-week time period, being on the phone 24/7, you're going to have your first lovers' quarrels. And
Right.
we had a couple of them. And in one of them, she said to me, these were her exact words: "You're not for black women. You're not truly divested. You're not a true swirler. You just want to try." I think she accused me of wanting to try black. I said, "Are you freaking insane? Are you nuts? I've dated black women since I was 20, 21 years old. What are you talking about? I haven't been with a white woman in so long. I don't even know what a white woman looks like anymore, and I don't care." But she was literally, this was her language to me. And I don't know why. I can't remember what triggered it, but she was telling me, I am not swirled enough, divested enough. You're not for black women. I'm like, what are you talking? I said, first of all, why are you bringing race into this? Wouldn't answer me. Wouldn't answer me. I think she hung up on me. Then, of course, a little while later, called me back. I sent her a few texts. I said, what's wrong with you? And I will admit that I did call her on a blocked. No, I blocked my number and called her and said, "What is going on?" Because she blew my mind with all this. You're not divested enough. You're not. And I'm like, listen, I might be the dumbest person on the planet, but never in my entire existence have I ever used in a fucking sentence the word divested.
Hi,
Never.
Juanita.
Never.
Hi, Nisha.
So when she said that to me, I didn't quite understand what she was talking about. Divested fucking in what? What are you talking about? Now I understand, because I see all these swirl couples or these swirling people
Hey,
using
Bron.
this word divested.
Mm-hmm.
But at first, I didn't know what the hell she was talking about. So when she hung up on me and I tried to
Yes,
call her back and I was
Bronsburg.
going straight to voicemail, knowing that I was blocked, I said, fuck this shit. I'm going to call. I'm going to find out what the hell she's accusing me of not being for black women. Where did this even come from? So by this time, we're already like many, many days into our talking. I don't care if I'm gonna call the woman that claims to be my girlfriend. I'm gonna call her blocked because I want to talk to her. I want to find out what the fuck she's talking about. So we had a few of our quarrels, and yet, like
Bronsburg.
within, huh?
Maestro Bronsburg says, "I like that guy. He's dope in my book."
Thanks, man. Um, so we would not talk for a couple of hours. There was maybe 1 or 2 nights where around midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, I don't know, maybe it was a force of habit for her. She had to get into an argument with me and say, "Well, fuck you, then I'm going to bed. Bye," and click. I'm like, what the fuck? And so the next morning, of course, she'd call me and we'd be right back to the same routine again of being on all day and all night. And
Sound
I
like
was
he
like,
was testing you.
yeah, I think she was testing me, but how? I don't even know what I'm being tested for. It's like when you say to me, "You're not for black women," and I'm thinking, "What the fuck? What are you talking about?" Oh, but here's the thing. She's a very jealous woman. Now, I don't like being in relationships, even though I have been in several, where in the beginning it should be a red flag, and it is for me. But in the beginnings of the relationship, when you're first starting to get to know each other, I am not of the habit of talking about my exes, but I've noticed women seem to have this habit of talking about theirs, because the woman wants to make sure you're not going to be abusive or like this or like that. But then there's always the women that also talk very highly of an ex. Either way, I don't want to hear about exes. So, that being said, I can understand a woman also not wanting to hear about exes, but I will agree with the manosphere in this regard. When a
Mm-hmm.
man is experienced, it is attractive. When a woman is experienced too much, it is unattractive. Women look for experience, men look for inexperience. It's just the nature of the beast. Nothing can change it. The mocking, the pedo calling, all the things you want to say, it's not going to change the course of nature. And if you are a Bible believer or a believer in evolution, whatever it is you believe in, it's been going on since the dawn of mankind. We look for fertile women. That is not to go against women who are past the stages of fertility. It's just nature. Just like a woman prefers a man that's 6 foot or taller, but we're not all 6 foot or taller. People that are women, men 6 foot and taller are less than 14% of the population. So you've got 100% of women chasing 14% of men. Good luck. That's like putting 100 women in a room and having 14 men in that room and saying, okay, go for it. Someone's going to end up fucking a lot of those women. I mean, like, this is how it happens. It's like that's just the nature of the beast. It's not to shame anybody. I was shaming her. I was trying to throw insults at her because I just don't like that woman. I don't like the what she is portraying as a woman. She should be trying to mentor women to be more feminine, more attractive. Her mouth
Are
and
you
her
speaking of
her
are you speaking of Crystal Swirls?
yeah. Speaking of Crystal, her mouth is a complete turnoff. Her demeanor is a complete turnoff. So yesterday or whatever day it was, when they were telling me how I'm talking poorly to black women, first of all, keep the fucking race out of it. And don't tell me how to talk to women that are not acting like women. I will give you the same energy you're giving me. You're going to come at me with a masculine attitude. I'm going to come at you with my natural masculinity because yours is unnatural. She's got a deep truck driver voice. Sounds like a truck driver that's been smoking cigars for fucking 59 years. She's not attractive. She can't even make her, she could make herself at least somewhat attractive if she acted more ladylike, but she doesn't, and neither do the people in her chat. They're all masculine, ghetto, ratchet chicken heads as fuck. And that's the way I see it, and that's what I said, and I'm not going to take it back. I'm going to call it as I see it. So where were we actually? I lost my train of thought. I went off on a tangent.
You were talking about jealousy.
Oh, jealousy, right. So I don't want to hear about an ex. So therefore, I try not to talk about exes. But sometimes a person just says things to you, and you just say to yourself, do I open my mouth and say this in my defense to prove something, or do I keep quiet? And I just have to come out and say, like, for example, Sasha in the beginning, when I think one of our first or second conversation might have been, no, it had to be the second because the first one I said was at the restaurant. So this, I think the second or third one, I remember laying on my couch in my old apartment. I had a balcony. I would go out there to have my cigarettes. So I just came right in, sat on the couch, got back up, went outside for a cigarette. Um, I remember her asking me or making the claim that I'm not serious. I guess the first thing was our distance. And she said, "Oh, well, how do I know that you're serious about me and you're not just one of these guys trying to da da da?" So I'm like, "Oh my god, do I really have to say this? Do I really, really, really have to say this?" So I said it. I told her, "You're talking to a man who is a man of his word and genuine as fuck. And don't get mad, but here's what I did. I lived in Connecticut. I met a woman online that lives in Miami, and we started talking and we started liking each other. She actually got on a plane by herself, 21 years old, and flew up to see me and spend a whole weekend with me actually in Pennsylvania at an event. It was a movie event. And then I flew down to Miami at the end of December to spend New Year's. And I decided, okay, we obviously have something serious going on. Let's do this. I want to get the fuck out of Connecticut, so I'll move. And she called my bluff and said, "You're not going to move for me. We're probably going to end up breaking up because we live too far." But I said, "Okay, watch me." And I picked up my ass and I moved 1,400 fucking miles down to Miami, drove all the way 4 times to take my shit because I wasn't going to put my
Wow.
shit on a truck and I wasn't ready to. No, I have flown before, but I wasn't in the mood for flying. So
No,
I
you
drove
were
back and forth
serious.
4 times.
You were serious.
I was serious. I was serious. And her parents, well, they're not together, but her father is in her life. And at first, they gave her shit about my race, they gave her shit about my age, and I have to say, she stood up for me. She stood up for me. Um, then when I went down there, she invited me over to her house. I met her mom. Everything seemed cool, whatever. Then when I moved down there, that's when I became, like, how would you say, part of the family, because I proved myself. I was down there. They liked me. Her dad was still kind of iffy about it. Um, oh, there was one thing that happened in between me moving down there after I had visited, and we did, because of the distance, and we had a little fallout actually, and she went on a date with another guy, and I said, "Oh, so this is the end of us." And I guess things didn't work out with him. And he was another, well, I want to say white, but he was actually Hispanic, but he was so white he glows in the fucking dark. So they're white anyway, in my opinion. They come from Spain. I don't care. So there was a little fallout between us, and she ended up going on a date with some guy, and they went on a few dates or whatever. And then she called me back, and she's like, "Yeah, you were right." Because I told her, I said, the majority of Hispanic families don't like black people. And I said it, and I'm going to stick by it, because everywhere I've ever worked in my life, when I've worked around Hispanics, they have always talked shit about black people. And when they got wind that I date black women, they would make fun of me. And they would say, "Oh, why'd you do that, man? Why'd you do that? The negro, the blackie." I'm like, what the fuck? Get the fuck away from me. So she told me about the experience going over to his house and meeting his family. Because he was a younger guy, probably maybe 7 years older than her, and still lived at home with his mommy. So
Okay, okay.
good luck. But
Right,
she told me the experience, and she called me up and she goes, "You know what? You were right." And then she was all apologetic and blah blah blah. And I was like, "You know what? What the fuck am I doing? Why am I even fucking doing this?" So we talked for like another 2 months, and I was like, "All right, so this is going to be for real, right? This is 100% for real." Yes. Cool. Her birthday was coming up. Now, here we're going to go into, I'm just saying that somebody's going to fucking clip this and say, "Oh, he got cheated on and took the girl back." I didn't get cheated on. We literally broke up. We broke up. She lived in Miami. I lived in Connecticut. We got together a couple times, and some shit went down, and we broke up. We were not a couple. But I did something right, apparently, that she looked back on and goes, I really should probably just call him and give him another chance.
right.
Give me another chance, whatever. Give us another chance. So what do I do? 2 months later, it was gonna be her birthday. Actually, 3 months later, it was gonna be her birthday. Her birthday, she's a Cancer. So what do I do? This is the part I almost don't want to say this, because for people like Sasha to hear this kind of stuff would really, like, if she heard this while we were together, she'd have ripped me a new fucking asshole. Because as it was, I never finished telling you, when I told her about the fact that I moved from Connecticut to Miami, she said, "All right, well, I'm gonna go to bed now." And I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Are you okay?" She goes, "Yeah, no, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm just really tired. I'm gonna go to bed." And I was like, "Okay." And the next day we talked, and I think I contacted her that day, and I asked her, "Is everything all right?" And she did admit at some point, um, that she doesn't want to hear about exes. And I said, "I was only using that as an example to let you know that I'm genuine. I picked up my life and moved for a woman that turned out to not be exactly the right woman for me. But if I can do that, why would I fuck why would I fuck with your mind? Why would I play games with you?" You know? Like, let's face it. Sometimes relationships,
You were being honest and trying to prove to her that you were serious and that you do anything for her.
Exactly. Now, if I say what I'm about to say now, you might say, "Oh, well, then Or she might say, "Oh, then you just do that for any woman." No, because unlike women, we don't really hold. Men don't really hold on to the baggage. Some of us do. I have been heartbroken, but women will hold on to ex-boyfriend baggage. And my ex did do that. The ex in Miami, she held on to it, and that was, to tell you the truth, a lot of what happened in that breakup. And then when we got back together, it was something totally different, which I'll get to. But that whole my boyfriend, my ex this, my ex that thing, it got to the point where I was like, lady, can you fucking stop comparing men? Can you just fucking stop? And we had a breakup, and she had every right to go out and date whoever she wants. I had every right to go out and date whoever I wanted. And she realized, well, maybe I fucked up. Maybe let's try again. Okay.
And is that your ex or that Sasha?
This is the ex in Miami.
Okay.
I'm still talking about my ex in Miami. So
Okay.
I'm going to get to a part that I've never told Sasha, because I learned my lesson after telling her I moved for a woman. Um,
We've been there. I've done it before. That's why I am
and
where
I
I am
would
now for a
I
man.
would kind of do it again, but I actually like where I am. I like the state that I'm in right now, but I'm not saying I wouldn't ever do it. But the thing with Sasha is, according to her, even before we started talking, she was already planning on coming down here, so that worked out perfectly. Um,
Going to
so what
school.
happened when my ex and I got back together? The ex in Miami, when we got back together, her birthday was coming up in a few months, and I wanted to do something nice because I wanted to fucking do something nice. So for her birthday, I said, pick a place. Oh, she doesn't have her passport. I do, but she didn't. Not at the time, anyway. I said, pick a place of where you want to go, and we'll go. I said, do you have your passport? She goes, no, I don't have my passport. I said, Jesus fucking Christ. Why don't you have your passport? Okay. So I said, do you want to do something like in the western states, in the Midwest? There's my best friend had moved to Arizona. I'd never been there. Now his dumbass went back to Connecticut. I said, you're stupid. But like, Arizona has those beautiful mountains that are like the sand is red on them. I love
Yeah.
them. I
Me
want to see
too.
that shit up front and close in person. So she said, let's do the Virgin Islands, because you have the US Virgin Islands, which you don't need a passport for. So guess what my ex-girlfriend's 22nd birthday gift was?
The
We
Virgin
went to the
Islands.
Virgin Islands.
Wow.
Yep. But I'm a dusty and I'm a broke ass and I ain't gonna do nothing for Sasha and blah blah. You know what? Fuck you, fat bitch. Yep.
Wow.
So
What a
when they're
what a
calling me
gift.
dusty and broke and calling me a rapist, and I'm gonna get her there and lock her in, I'm gonna hold her hostage and I'm gonna rape her and I'm gonna do that. I'm sitting here and I'm partially laughing and I'm partially feeling so sad for the people that literally believe the bullshit that's coming out of these women's mouths, that are influencing Sasha and women like Sasha. Because the longer this bitch stays on YouTube, more people are going to eventually find her, of all age groups. And they're going to get corrupted if they don't see, like you and I can see, the blatant hypocrisy and the flip flopping of what she's saying.
Yes, because her live today, it's okay that you're older, but you just didn't give Sasha enough money.
Right. First, I'm old and creepy and I should date people my own age. Then it turns to, oh, well, she'd still be with you if you gave her the right amount of money. Like, what?
Braun says, "Let them be corrupted." Okay, Braun. Yeah, yeah. She definitely flip flops, and we saw that today in the live. She's probably still live now. Who knows? But yeah, definitely the flip flop. And
And I just wanna mention, somebody said you lost for going on for hours. Yeah, well, because every time I thought it was over, she kept making up more bullshit. So the night that the night that Sasha dumped me, and I say that in air quotes, I say dumped me because we haven't physically been together. But the night that she dumped me, she actually wanted to tell me the next day. But I got it out of her that night. I said, if you have something to tell me, because I already knew where this was going. I'm not stupid. I wasn't born 5 seconds ago. I know where this is going. So when she told me that, and I was like, where is this coming from? And she started like blabbing off shit. And I'm like, you're out of your mind, Sasha. What are you talking about? Like, she never said anything about the amount of money or anything like that. She was more on, I don't like you. You're not my type. We're not compatible. I don't feel love for you. I'm like, I didn't say you had to feel love for me right now. Like, shit, man. Okay, so anyway, let me get to what she said. I guess we both started talking over each other, but the tail end of something she said, I caught it. She goes, "And you might rape me. You're the type of guy I know you would rape me." And I'm like, "What?" I said, "Where the
Oh,
fuck
yeah.
did this come from?" But
Crystal swirls.
I missed the whole first part of what she was saying because I was talking over her. And that's the only tail end I heard was, "You're the kind of guy that would rape me." I said,
She got
"What the fuck?"
that came from Crystal
Yep.
Swirls.
Yep,
Yeah,
absolutely.
rape you, or her. The whole kick rocks. We're not compatible.
Yep.
Those are Crystal Swirls. That's Crystal Swirls breakup language.
Hmm.
That's her
All right.
breakup language.
So the funny thing about that whole "I don't feel love for you yet" is my dumbass actually did start developing feelings in all that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week shit for 3 fucking weeks. And I know it was 3 weeks because it started in the beginning of November, and I had to return the rental vehicle. The insurance coverage on it ran out on a Saturday before Thanksgiving, before Black Friday. So that whole week, my car was supposed to be ready on the 23rd. And I was all set. Yes, the 23rd, I'm going to be able to go to see my folks in the next state over and have fucking turkey. Yay. And then they texted me, they sent me an updated text message saying, "We've pushed your car date to it was November 30th, which would have been today." And then I was like, "Well, fucking great. Now I'm without a car." So now they pushed it again to December 2nd.
Wow.
So yeah, but now it's finally in the last stages. They actually texted me with they said it's done. It just needs the paint job. So that's going to take a couple days, I guess. Um, so that Saturday before the week of Thanksgiving is when I had to return the vehicle. And that whole week, that was our third week. In the second, I'd like to go back a little bit now. In the
Okay.
second week of us being on this long drawn out phone call, never ending phone call, like the never ending fucking story, um, I had gone to a restaurant that I like a lot. I like the food there. And I like the atmosphere a little bit because, well, they don't they play a little bit of like old school rock and R&B, but their main focus is their fucking sports. And it's like, oh my god, with the sports, I'm not a sports fan by any stretch of the imagination. I will watch tennis, but I don't give a fuck about football or any of this other shit. But that's all this bar, because in this bar, if you were to see this restaurant, I worked in a restaurant similar to this and we had live entertainment. But these people are so focused on their sports, they would never accept live entertainment. I was going to try to talk to the owner or the manager and say, "Hey, let me be your live entertainment guy. You have a whole area over there that could have some, bands playing, a comedy night." "Oh no, they only want sports." "Okay, fine, fuck it, whatever."
You do
This
music?
place, huh?
Do you are you a musician of some sort?
No, 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 no. I would have brought bands there. I would have got like
Okay.
outsourced and got people to, yeah.
Okay.
So this place is very similar to Hooters. So it's all female wait staff. And some people might catch on to what I'm talking about, but I don't want to name places because I'm trying to keep at least our states private or whatever. If you know,
I
you know. I don't care.
Yeah. I know another place similar to that. Yes.
Right. So
Hmm.
I was on the phone with her, of course, because we were on the phone all day, every day. And I pull in and I told her where I was going, and she said she'd never heard of it. And I said, "Well, I'll take you on in there with me on FaceTime," right? As soon as I turned the phone camera around and I kind of like went scanned the room so she could see. As soon as she saw the fucking wait staff, She fucking hung up on me.
Maestro. Maestro.
She said, "Fuck you." Yo, I was dying, but you know what I did? I ordered my pity ass little fucking chicken tenders and fries. I shoved those fucking thing down so fast, and I got the check, and I got out, and I got in the fucking car, and I called her back, and she answered. And I said, "Why the fuck did you hang up on me?" Right? And I'm trying not to laugh. And she's going, "If you want to act single, then you can be single. Go get your little girlfriends at the bar. Go get your Becky's at the bar." Like, I'm dying on the inside. Literally, I'm screaming with laughter on the inside. I'm trying not to laugh in her face because I have absolutely no interest in those white bitches behind the bar. None whatsoever. And I took her in there to prove to her that I'm not there looking at anybody else. Why would I take you with me to this bar? And I'm fucking laughing. And she said to me, "If you want to act single, go be single." Which means in the second week of us talking, she was already proclaiming a relationship.
Right. And actually, Hooters, although this is not Hooters, Hooters, at least here where I am, is they've kind of made a family restaurant where I've seen whole families in there with their kids, and they
Yes,
and they
yes.
have a kids section for the
And I
kids to
told her
play.
that. I told her it's a restaurant. It's not a stripper club. It's a restaurant. And she was like literally yelling at me like this woman like she tried to softly like be soft spoken yelling at me, but a little bit of ghetto was coming out of her and I'm like this is too fucking much, man.
Oh, a little
And
bit
I'm
of
laughing.
ghetto.
I'm telling her, "I don't care about the women at the bar. I like the food." I said, "When you get here, I'm going to take you there. You're going to love the food." She got even more mad at that. She got more mad that I offered to take her there. I'm like,
Bronze,
"Oh, fuck, I just dug my grave." And I'm like, "Holy shit." So I said, "Oh my God, how am I going to get myself out of this one?" I told her, I said, "Listen, if you don't want me going there, I won't go there. Just tell me you don't want me to go there." I told her like several times, "Oh no, you're gonna go there. I don't believe you. You're gonna go there." Yeah, okay. This is the guy that moved 1,400 miles to Miami for someone who didn't believe anything I said either. So will you just tell me you don't want me to go there anymore and I won't go there? And she goes, "Do you promise?" I'm like, "Yes, I don't need to go there. It's not the end of the fucking world if I don't go there. I can order Uber Eats or something." Like, holy shit. And, she tried to shove it in my face a few times after that. She did. She's got this habit. But now I'm understanding where she's picking all this shit up from. She's getting it from Crystal.
yeah, and she's 20, and she's 20.
Yeah. I mean,
I mean, the
my
fact
ex
that
was
you're,
21 and didn't act like that.
the
My ex was
fact that
21
you're,
and didn't act like that. So I'm confused.
well, maybe it's something to do with home life, but the fact that
Yeah.
you brought her in there with you, it should have shown her that you weren't trying to hide anything from her. But you
Mm.
know,
I don't know.
so
What's a strag training? Bronzeberg.
oh, that's I that I've heard that word. I guess the best way I can describe it, well, maybe he could tell you, but the women in Crystal's chat, I guess, is what he would call them. Bronze,
Oh.
if you want to explain that in the
Oh, like a like scraggly ass kind of thing.
I get that's a word made up by yeah.
Mm.
So let's see. So let's go to the part where you guys discuss the fact that of her coming there and the whole rent situation.
Mm. Okay, so I offered. I said, if you want to move in with me, you can. But the problem with that would have been forget all this virginity and you want to rape. I said, shut up with that shit, Crystal. The problem with that is the college that she wants to transfer to is literally 2.5 to 3 hours away from me. And she's not going to be taking online courses. She's going to physically go for this one. So I was like, okay, that's going to be a fucking problem. And then she also said, I don't want to cohabitate until marriage. Okay, fine. I get you. I get you. I said, but the door is open if you want to get down here and go to the fucking college. I mean, no, go to the college when you're ready. And in the meantime, we can get you a place. If
Hi,
you really
Bella.
want to get down here.
I was just saying hello to people entering
Oh,
the chat.
um,
Continue.
so yeah, of course, that was my offer at first. And then I was like, okay, so you need to get an apartment close by to where you want to go to college. And then there was the she told me, because I didn't understand how this worked. She's telling me that her next not next semester, but I guess when she starts this new college, it would be starting in fucking July or August or some shit. So I said, "Oh wow, you have." Now this is later on in conversations about this. I said, "You mean to tell me all this time I didn't know it, but you have all these months in between?" And she goes, "Yeah." Oh well, okay. So then, what do you want to do? But she's always saying she wants to get out of living at home. She wants to get the fuck away from there. Okay, fine. Then it turned into her looking in my city, and I'm like, "Are you sure you want to do this?" And she's like, "Yeah." I'm like, okay, so what do you want to do? You want to look for like a short term 6 month lease here and then find something for a longer term over by your college? It would only make sense because, and don't get too comfortable because you're going to have to pick up and move 6 months later to go near to your college. So
Braun
the
said
big
she
thing
was,
was her, huh?
Braun said she was playing you.
I about what I'm talking about right now. I don't know. I honestly, I'm open to the possibility that I could have been played. I could have been being, have been honest with. She might have been being honest with me. She might have been playing me. She might have been confused. But I think a lot of the end result here is coming from Crystal Swirls.
And Braun, he's
So
not, no, she did not offer him any box. She wanted, I guess, wait till marriage for that to happen.
yeah, and I wasn't trying to get any box. If a woman wants to be married, listen, she's not the very first virgin that I've ever. There are virgins out here above the age of 20. There are, believe it or not, they exist. I've met a couple of them. There was a 23-year-old Puerto Rican woman that I met who was so devout Christian, and this goes back to when I was like 35. Yeah, she was 23, I was 35, and such devout Christian. And she actually came over at my place. This was when I was living in Connecticut, and we watched TV until we both fell asleep on the couch together and woke up the next morning. And she was still a fucking virgin. And now she's a New Haven police officer. That's what. Good luck to her.
Okay.
So
So you,
she used to work in like when somebody is out on workman's compensation because they claim they got hurt on the job, but you
mhm,
find them in the backyard building a deck on their house. She
yes.
worked for she worked for an insurance company that went and like she would park her car and she'd get the camera and point it like at a good distance. And she took me on a couple of those rides, and they were the most boring thing. I said, "Oh my god, what was her name? Rosa." I said, "Rosa, when does this end?" And then she wouldn't let me smoke in her car, so I had to keep going outside. She goes, "Be careful, don't let anybody see you." I'm like, "What the fuck?" And so she went from being an insurance, I don't know what the name or title of that job is, to becoming a police officer. And good luck to her. But she was 23 years old and a virgin, and she was dead set on waiting till marriage. There are virgins out here. They do exist. They are few and far between, but they do exist. I do not give a shit because I didn't know Sasha was a virgin when I first read her profile. I literally skimmed through it. I saw the I Like Watching podcasts, and I immediately hit the message button and said, I'd be interested to know what podcast you listen to. Then it was probably the second or third day that we talked when I said to her, "You want to know something?" She goes, "What?" I said, "I've never really read your profile before until now because her actual the one that didn't get deleted was still up there even though she hadn't been on it." And she goes, "Yeah." And I said, "You're waiting until marriage?" And she goes, "Yeah." I said, "You're a virgin?" She goes, "Yeah." I said, "Oh shit. Cool. Perfect." You have morals. I didn't know this. It was not part of what made me respond to her to begin with. I'm not going to sit there and read a whole fucking book paragraph of a profile. At the very top, it said I like singing, dancing, music, and podcasts. I saw the word podcast, and that did it for me. I wanted to know what podcast, because I was interested to know if she was listening to any Manosphere shit. But anyway, so I didn't even know about that shit. But here we are going back and forth for the next week about what to do with her apartment situation. And she's telling me, I really want to get the fuck out of home. I really, really, really want to get the hell out of here. So I'm like, all right, is it going to be my city or the other city? And we settled on the other city. Okay, fine. It's closer to where you got to be. That's where you should be. It's a 2.5 hour ride. We won't be up each other's ass. Of course, we'll probably be on the phone all day like we are, but we won't physically be right there, and we can continue dating, going out, and getting to know each other, whatever.
Closer than
So,
20 hours.
what's that?
It's a lot closer than 20 hours.
Oh, it's a lot closer than 20 hours. Yeah, absolutely. So it's a big state. So, where was I? All right. So she called a couple of people. We were on apartments.com, and we were both sharing with each other what we were finding. And she wanted to have a certain price range. And I swear to you, this woman said she wants to work. She doesn't want to just sit home doing nothing. She wants to work. I said, you don't have to if you don't want to. No, I want to. I just don't want to work in retail anymore. I said, okay. So why don't we find you a job in an office, some kind of desk job? She goes, yeah, that's what I want to do, a desk job. Okay, perfect. So I said, now I don't know what to do, because when I moved, I already had my job, and all I had to do was transfer because they had another place in that location in Miami. I don't work for them anymore now. So it was easy for me. And when I moved out of Florida, it was easy for me because all I had to show was my tax forms showing how much money I make on my own working from home. Whereas she was running into the problem when she was calling places that they were saying, we need you to have at least 2 or 3 pay stubs from the state, from this state where you'll be living. And she was like, how do I do that when I'm in the process of moving and I'm not there yet to have a job? So that's a
That's
first for
something
me.
that is something that I have never heard of. That is new to me.
That's what they were saying. And the last place she called, I was actually on FaceTime with her, and she called. She has 2 phones. And she called on the other phone, and I listened to the conversation. And oh no, was it? Wait a minute. No, we weren't on FaceTime. We were on regular phone. Yes, let me remember correctly. We were on regular phone. She made the 3-way call. She told me to be quiet. I think she asked me to be on mute. And they went through everything, and the lady told her that. And I was like, fuck this shit. So after she hung up with her, I come off mute and I say, I'm going to call them now. We're going to do this. We're going to find out what's going on with this whole paycheck stub thing when you don't even live here yet. And I called her on 3-way and I said, hi, I'm calling for a friend, blah, blah, blah. And then I said her name and she goes, oh, yeah, I just spoke to her a moment ago. I said, yeah. I said, we're actually on a 3-way call right now, if you don't mind, because I want her to understand what's going on here. So the lady said, if you work from home, if you have your own business or job or whatever, and you have your tax forms, that's good enough. But if you actually work a regular job, they need pay stubs. So what she said is, she said, if you work at a place where you can transfer, like I transferred from Connecticut down to Florida, you can do that. But if you haven't gotten a secure job here yet and you haven't even earned any money, we need something else. So I said, well, since she's not at a place right now that has a place down there and she can't transfer, can I put my name on it? And she goes, yeah, you can put your name on it. You can kind of be a co-signer, but not really a co-signer. So what would happen is I would be the main tenant and I would put Sasha as the cohabitant. And then when Sasha started working like she said she wanted to, Miss Swirls, she could then take over the lease. So I could come in and say, hey, can I now switch the lease over to Sasha's name? Okay. I
Mm-hmm.
said to her, do you want to do it that way? She goes, yeah. I said, perfect. I said, I will pay for everything that goes into it right now. Oh, the lady told me, I just need to clarify something that Crystal Swirls literally blatantly lied to everyone about earlier. She told an outright blatant lie. And when I called her out on the lie in the chat room, her chat room attacked me for fixing her lie. She said that Sasha had already moved here, was in the apartment. I was bothering her, and she picked up and moved back and moved into some condo with some guy. Bullshit. The apartment that Sasha was going to move into, that I was going to sign the lease for, was not going to be ready until the end of December. The lady told us on the phone, we have people living in there now. Their lease is up in December. They will be moving out. We need to do renovations, and I will take pictures for you so you can see better the size of the closet space, because that's what Sasha was concerned about. She was concerned about closet space. So,
Yep.
Crystal Swirls, how the fuck was Sasha living here and I was bothering her, and then she hightailed out with another guy to a condo in an apartment
Okay.
that's not even ready for her yet?
So Crystal's saying that Sasha went from you to another guy living
Like
with
that.
him in a
Yeah.
matter of a couple of days
Couple
or
of
hours.
days.
Yeah.
Yep.
Trying to make you jealous.
Absolutely. But she fucked that up by saying that she was in the apartment I was paying for that she's not even in yet.
Well,
She
you got
fucked that whole story up. She tried though. She tried. And
she
her
she
and
doesn't she doesn't think, and she has said it on her live, she doesn't think. She
no.
doesn't know anything about men because her father didn't teach her, and that she should not be giving women to advice. I do have a video. I think it's a short or clip anyway. This says that I put it up the other day. She
Mhm.
actually said that she don't know what she's talking about, and women should not be listening to her. I guess that was on one of her down days. But yeah, she will make
Wow.
a. She forgets what she says, but no matter what, she's going to make that point that she's trying to make. Yesterday, you were a pedophile, and today, well, you're an older guy, and that's fine, but you just didn't give her enough money.
Yeah.
She she
That's
wants, like she said, that she's a pimp, and Sasha gave her $66. She's pimping these girls, like she calls her girls. If you had given her $50, if you've given her $500, then she'd probably stay with you. That comment right there says it's about money.
that
They
blew
wanted her.
that
They
comment right there blows their whole fucking thing out of the water. That
yeah.
right there blew everything out of the fucking water for them with this. She never liked you and she was scared of you and this and that. How is the woman calling you and telling you she's afraid of me on the day she accepted my money? No, not the day she accepted, the day after she accepted. I sent her the Cash App money for Black Friday. I'm so sorry, it wasn't more than that, more than $100. What if I sent her $500? I'd be asked out. I'd be asked out of $500 because I bet you the same shit would have happened.
Yes, because 500 wouldn't be
Nope,
enough. Because I do
absolutely
recall
not.
in her crazy lie from yesterday
Mm.
that she said something. Someone said something about you giving $1,000. Okay, well in 3 weeks we're gonna need some. We're gonna need another 1,000. So
Yeah,
you know, and any money that you may have given to Sasha, it would have been filtered to Crystal Swirls. So basically, Sasha's relationship would have been like a kind of a bank account because Sasha's giving her money, but it would have came from you. So they were both getting money from you, so to
yep,
speak.
100%.
Yeah.
And that's what I
Okay.
believe. And the same way that she wants to keep making up this story that I'm going to hold her hostage and rape her and do all this stuff, and she's believing that, and her followers are believing that. I believe that she's got women going on dating apps on her behalf to get money, to finesse men for money, and give her some of it. That's what I
Oh,
believe.
yeah.
She told me I was crazy for that. I said, "Well, you think I'm going to fucking hold her hostage and all that shit, right?" Yeah. Well, then we're both crazy. But that's what I believe.
You can't hold someone hostage over the phone. You
You
just hang
know,
up and block the number. You can't hold someone hostage, but She's not thinking. Just hostage, rape, pedophile, blah blah. All those words of violence.
Yep. I gotta go have a cigarette.
That's what she is.
But yeah, go keep talking. I'm just gonna go outside.
Okay, but that's just how she is. And for those of us who have sense, we notice that. And she's had, besides myself, other former mods and supporters who have left her channel because they got tired of her shit.
Mm-hmm.
And one by one, over time, when they grow up, they will realize that I'm getting a horse. They'll realize that she's full of shit. They'll realize it.
I mean, I don't understand how they couldn't realize that right there when she made up that story about Sasha already living here and running away. And I'm like, I'm in the fucking chat going, dudes, she's not here yet. She'll never be here now. But the plan was January because the apartment isn't ready yet. And they just sit there and they attack me like Crystal can do no wrong and say no wrong.
Well, you go against Crystal, you get booted and blocked.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I got timed out a few times.
Yeah, and what will they do if they get blocked by Crystal? What will they do with their lives?
Jesus,
What will they
it's
do?
disgusting.
It is. It is.
I honestly feel sorry for Sasha. At the same time, I don't, because I firmly believe that Sasha has mentioned to me many times, okay, first of all, she wants a man that leads the relationship, yet she came off very controlling about a lot of things. And I would always remind her, I said, you want a man that leads the relationship, right? And when I told her, I said, you're acting a little controlling, she got twisted, really twisted. She goes, I'm not masculine. I said, I never said you were masculine. I said, you're kind of a little bit controlling, like with going crazy over the whole fucking restaurant thing.
Mm-hmm.
But, what was it that, oh, shit.
That's just more Crystal Swirls influence.
Mm-hmm. Losing my train of thought here. Fuck.
So when you were well, she said about being a man or leading.
Yeah. There was something else that something else that triggered her. She got triggered by me telling her that she's being kind of controlling for someone that wants a man to lead the relationship, because I was trying to help her out. Like, leading the relationship and being a leader she was down in the dumps with the apartment thing. So I was like, fuck this. I'm going to take control of this. I'm going to take the wheel here and find out what's going on. Shit. I knew I was going to say something, and now I fucking it just like right out of my mind. But
About her paying the bills afterwards at some point.
No, it wasn't that.
That's already.
Shit, I just had it on the tip of my tongue, and I'm like, what was I about to say? And now I lost it. Shit. I was saying something about something Sasha had said to me a few times. Oh, damn. Now I just totally fucking lost it. All right, well, it'll come back to me eventually.
Yeah.
But was it about the moving thing? Shit, I can't, like, literally, it's like somebody just bumped me upside the head. I just forgot.
It'll come back to you.
Yeah.
So once you pay the rent for a certain amount of time, she was going to take over from there.
That was, I guess, how we both kind of agreed. I figured, okay, 3-month time period, if you don't find a job in that 3 months, then I will continue paying your rent. But she wants to work. She said she wants to work. And not only that, we kept talking about her credit. She's got to build up her credit. She's not going to get anywhere without credit.
Right.
So being somebody that paying her rent under my name is not helping her credit. Paying her bills under my name is not helping her credit. Will I do it? Yes. Will it help her? No. In the, as far as credit score, it won't help her.
In the long run, right.
I mean, what if she broke up with me 6 months into the relationship? Now she breaks up with me, she goes her own way, and she got no fucking credit. because
Right.
nothing was in her name. Nothing.
You want to tell us about the well, Crystal and them know about the $100 and the $21 for the food. Do you want to
The
talk about?
$21 thing, she rides that like a fucking motorcycle. She just loves to hop on that 21 bucks and take off like she's in the fucking drag race.
But you know what though? I bet she had a better meal with those $21 than the noodles that Crystal swirled was serving
Exactly.
her son.
Okay, so here's the deal. In my Cash App, for some reason I had this money and I'm like, I can't remember where this money came from. And then I tried to look back in my because Cash App has a paper trail. And I looked in it and I was like, oh, I got refunded for something. I'm like, okay, that's where this fucking money came from. So I was wondering why the fuck is there $21 sitting in my fucking account? So
She gave it back to you?
no. It was a refund on something from months ago.
Okay.
So it was just sitting here in my Cash App. I never cashed it out into my bank account. I just let it sit there. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I was like, hey, Sasha, check your Cash App. And I just sent it to her. Yeah, I told her, I said, that was sitting in my Cash App. I didn't remember where it was from. It's from a refund for something, but here, you can have it. That's
Okay.
it.
So it's not like you actually put in $21. It was just
No, it was already there from
it was
something I got
sitting.
refunded on.
Okay, okay, okay. Would you want to discuss the gifts that she didn't get thanks to Crystal?
Wow. So going back to Sasha with her, I don't trust you. You're just like all guys, but don't compare her to all women. Um, you're like all guys. You just wanna get in and get out and blah blah blah, and you're gonna do this and that. I'm like, what are you talking about? We literally spend 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on the phone. I don't have time to talk to anybody if I was a cheater. We don't give each other time. You don't give me any time. You're the one calling me. How do I have time to be talking to anyone behind your back or doing anything behind your back? We are literally taking each other everywhere. When she went to the store, she took me with her. When she went to work, she took me with her. When I went to the store, I took her with me. Everything we did, and she even said, "I love taking you with me on the phone when I go places." I said, "That's great. I love it too." And so I was just about tired of all this lack of trust, and I'm going to cheat on her. I'm going to do this and that. And I'm not a man of my word kind of stuff. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to mention again that I picked up my life and moved 1,400 miles to Miami, but okay. So what can I do? So I decided after she told me several times about how miserable of a Christmas she's had, and this could have been a lie. I don't know if anything is the truth from this woman's mouth anymore, but she was telling me that she hasn't had a good Christmas in many years, maybe since childhood. That there's no big Christmas celebration. They don't decorate. This could all be a lie, mind you. Right?
Okay, she lives at home right now, right?
Yes.
And she hasn't had a good Christmas in years since she was a kid.
No, she's yeah, since she was a kid. Yeah, something like that.
That just sounds.
I thought you said, does she have a kid? I'm like, no.
No. Since she was a kid,
Was a kid. Yes.
but she lives at home and she hasn't had a good Christmas with her family.
Apparently, I listen. I don't want to put her business. Well, I mean, I'm kind of putting some business out there to tell my side of the story, but I don't know what her home life is like. I'm just going by what
Oh
she
yeah,
said. She said she hasn't had a good Christmas, so I felt bad, and I'm like, well, you know what? I really like this girl. I'm gonna try to do what I can for someone that I barely know. I have to put that in quotes, barely know, because they always want to throw that in my face. You barely know her. Okay, so if I barely know her, I'm barely going to spend a lot of money on her.
yeah. Or I was just saying the fact that it just that just sounds like more of a what are you gonna buy me thing with the whole. It sounded like a story.
I didn't think of it that way at that time because I didn't know about Crystal Swirls yet.
Yeah.
Now that I know about Crystal, now I can say, yes, that might have been part of the plan. Oh, here, by the way, I want to throw this in there. Crystal on her live today was saying that she only talked to Sasha for the first time 4 days ago and blah, blah, blah. She called me and confided in me. No. Sasha told me that she's talked to Crystal several times.
Oh,
Several.
I don't doubt
times.
that. I don't doubt that at all. Because Crystal and myself, we talked a lot too when I
Mhm.
be on her side of things.
Yep. She said that she talks to her from time to time, and I still at that point I didn't know who this Crystal person was. I don't know who this Crystal person is that she tells me she talks to. All I know is that it's a podcaster, and I'm like, wow, how did you get in good with a podcaster? I didn't realize that Crystal's podcasts were very amateurish. I was thinking when I think podcast, I'm thinking Fresh and Fit. I'm thinking Kevin Samuels. I'm thinking big time podcasts. This is
Right.
just a woman turning her phone on and going on live on fucking YouTube the same way you could go live on Instagram.
Yeah.
So I didn't know any of this. Sorry for the echoey sound in here. And this is why I always sound like I'm yelling because there's an echo because I don't have a lot of furniture because I fucking suck at interior decorating. Um, but she told me she's talked to her a few times, and for Crystal to be on there saying that she talked to her for the first time this past weekend is a blatant lie, or one of the two of them is lying. Or one is definitely Crystal is rubbing off on Sasha as far as teaching how to pathologically lie. This is pathological lying
Yes. Yes.
because they get to a point where they believe the lie they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
So when innocently we're sitting there getting to know each other on the phone all day, every day. I'm innocently listening and innocently feeling bad. Like, this is the girl I like. I want to be with her. I don't want her to have a shitty Christmas. What can I do? What can I get her? And I'm tired of hearing her always saying she doesn't trust. So I said, all right, I'm going to get the first gift that I could think of was what could I do for a piece of jewelry that would be meaningful? Ah, a promise ring. So I went on Zales and I fucking specially ordered a specially made ring with my birthstone and her birthstone and our names engraved on the sides.
Oh, wow.
It wasn't really expensive. It was under 1,000. Actually, it was around the $500 mark. It wasn't too expensive because I'm not going to go too crazy yet. Not too crazy. But I
That's
wanted
still
to at
that's
least give her
that's
a
still
promise ring
good.
for the relationship, for the boyfriend girlfriend relationship.
That's still
Okay.
good because you didn't have to do that.
Well, I didn't have to, but then when she was walking around on Black Friday, and okay, they make a big deal about how much money I gave her on Black Friday. First of all, this woman is not buying anything for anybody. It's not like she's buying a whole bunch of shit for her mom. Spare me the bullshit. Crystal is talking about giving this girl money on Black Friday for her to go out and buy all her own shit. Doesn't that take away from me buying stuff for her for Christmas? Duh.
Yeah.
So when she was walking around in the mall on Black Friday, she went into a few stores and she saw this foul fur coat. It was really beautiful. I'm not a tree hugger, but I'm also not a big fan of going and killing animals to make a fur coat. I'll take the foul fur coat over anything any day. But it was a beautiful coat. And she's like, "Oh, I like this." So there was my idea for her second gift. Thankfully, she didn't have enough money from me, the cheap bastard, the dusty broke guy, to buy that for herself. It gave me an idea. As she said she liked it, and I knew what store she was in, I went right online while we were on the phone and I ordered her new gift. And she didn't even know it.
Wow.
Yep. And that is here. That gift is here. It's sitting in a box. Actually,
Is that the box that you showed on your video?
yes. Yeah, that's the box that I showed. Yep. It arrived via FedEx, so that's her fur coat. The other one is being made, and it's supposed to be here. I think the first or second week of December. Yeah, because December is coming this week. So um, next week on the 7th, 6th or 7th, it's due because it's being specially made. Um, so then I'm like, okay, two gifts, all right, but I'd like to give her a little more. So um she's in a fuck, I don't know what store it was. Was it a Best Buy? I don't even know.
whatever store she was in, she wants to start. Well, she has a YouTube channel, but she wants to like really build it up. Okay, cool. So she was looking at cameras, and these were no petty little, bullshit cameras. She was looking at Sony's, Canon, Panasonic, all the shit. So I said, which one is the best one? She's like, oh, this one is really nice. And I thought she meant the Sony. And I know Sony is pricey as fuck. And she took a picture of it and sent it to me. And it was the Canon. And I said, that's the Canon. She goes, yeah, that's the one I was looking at. I was like, oh, okay. I thought you meant the Sony. Because she did say Sony and then sent me a picture of a Canon. So she goes, oh, I could probably find it on Amazon cheaper. Now, in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, girl, you ain't going on Amazon, nothing. I'm getting that shit for you. And I don't care if I get it on Amazon or anywhere else. And actually, on Amazon, it was literally only $30 less than what it was in the store, which was like, it was like 600 and something. Yeah, 6 something, I think it was. So it was only $30 cheaper on Amazon. It don't make a fucking difference. But I was like, okay, there's gift number 3. So had I given her any more money, she could have gone and bought all her own gifts, and I would have been like, with my thumb up my ass, whistling Dixie, not knowing what to get this girl.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't like, all in all, at the end of the day, I don't know what's true, what was a lie, what was a scam, what was a finesse. I don't know anymore. Now that I know of Crystal Swirls, and now everything that happened since the day after Black Friday, now it all comes together full circle, and I think now I can say that the whole thing was a scam from the very start, from the and she might try to use the excuse of, oh, I don't want to know where people have people know where I live. That's why I made 2 accounts in 2 different states. No, honey, you were trying to see who you could finesse. You were probably going to continue making more profiles, but the site administrator got on to you. And maybe somebody actually, maybe she was in touch with other men too, and they caught on to her bullshit and they had her blocked. Maybe they turned her into the site administrator. Because I didn't do that.
It's possible. It's
Very
possible.
possible.
Or maybe even the guy that she's now moved in with.
The mysterious man she moved in with. Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Klingon Return says she was playing you. Well, we kind of figure that out now. Yeah.
Yeah, but most likely, but in the moment and before I knew of the existence of Crystal Swirls, I would have never put that together.
So, and what did she tell you to do with the gifts?
She told me to give them to Goodwill.
And what's your plan?
I don't know. I mean, I could probably give the fucking jacket to somebody, but I can't give a ring that's got somebody else's name on it, my name as well. I'm not giving that to Goodwill. I'm not giving, a $500 fucking ring to Goodwill for somebody to buy it for $50. I don't know. I really don't know. I can't get my money back for it. It's engraved with our names. They don't want it back.
Yeah, this is something else.
And I had this whole plan. Like, one of the things about her is and we got into an argument about this. This was one of our arguments, was the discussion about her moving. How were we going to get her stuff down here?
Villa says take the ring and get it melted down.
Probably, yeah.
We had an argument.
Huh?
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. We had an argument about her moving down here in regards to the actual physical move itself. So I was like, I will be more than happy to rent listen, I'm not spending $3,000, $4,000 for somebody to put their shit on the back of a moving truck when their shit is nothing more than their clothing and maybe their bed. Maybe. So I said, if all you have is your clothing and your bed, I can dismantle your bed. We can put it in the back of a fucking U-Haul and we can take it ourselves. That way it's with you at all times. Nothing jiggling around in the back. And I also explained to her, because when I moved from Miami to here, I used a moving company. And it was an ungodly amount of money that I could have fucking still had in my pocket. And they take, a moving company isn't going to just move you. You are not special to them. What they're going to do is, whatever direction you're going in, they're going to see who they have along that way that's also moving in that direction, and they're going to put stuff on the truck accordingly in an order. Like, for example, my stuff was the third drop off on the truck that moved me. So I had to wait for them to unload the first two and then get my stuff. And the guy said, "You're in luck because I'm actually going in that direction." And he gave me a little bit off the price. Whoop-de fucking do. And I explained this to her. That's how it works. You're not guaranteed that your shit is going to be there on any specific day, because when they're unloading other people's shit, if there's any problems, if somebody makes a complaint that their shit is broken, all this plus the traffic and all that shit is going to hold you up. Let me just get a fucking U-Haul, come up there, get your shit, and drive down. She doesn't want me to know where her mommy lives, where she lives. I don't give a fuck where you live. Do you realize I have ex-girlfriends? I've been in their houses. I
Okay.
don't want you to know where I live. What if something happens to my mom? Now
What?
that I know about Crystal Swirls, this is coming from that bitch. Being afraid of your own shadow at every fucking turn.
Okay, wait a minute, wait a minute. So she didn't want you to know where she lived as
Her
far as,
actual address. Yeah, she didn't want me to come to her actual address. Yeah. We
but
made a
but
plan.
but you're gonna know where she lived because you're paying for the apartment she's gonna move into.
She doesn't want me to know where she lives now with her mom. She's worried about her mom because apparently I'm a serial killer.
But okay, so she didn't want. Okay, yeah. So,
So I guess she doesn't care if I kill her cereal as long as I leave her mom's cereal alone.
but I'm okay. So, but
Don't
okay,
kill Snap, Crackle, and Pop, please.
okay. So this is Sasha telling you that she did not want you to know where her mom lived.
Correct.
Okay.
So the plan
So
with the gifts was
if
that when I got.
she's that worried about where her mother lives,
Mhm.
then she should be fearful of living with you also.
Exactly. Oh my God. You can't make this shit up. You can't. You
Except on
just
the Crystal
can't.
Swirls channel.
Oh, you can on there. You can make anything up on there. You can say the
This
fucking
is
sky
this
is
is
yellow and they'll believe
this
you.
is insane.
Yep. So the plan was, when I got my car back from the shop, I was going to drive up there and hopefully have all her gifts. I was going to wait till I had everything and get my car back and drive up there and meet her, cuz I know where she works, but I guess that was my only place to be able to meet her, and we were going to go out to dinner, and I was going to give her her gifts in person at dinner. And I was really looking forward to giving her that ring more than anything. I wanted her to see that ring and tell her, "Stop thinking I'm going to cheat on you or leave you or use you. Here's my promise. I'm not going to break it." I looked so forward to putting that ring on her finger as a, not even a pre-engagement ring, it's just a loyalty ring is all it is, really. And these
Right.
people are mocking the shit out of it and telling me it's not enough. Wait a minute. First you tell me I can't have feelings for her in 3 weeks, then you tell me that's not enough. Why didn't I get her an engagement ring? Please make sense out of that. They literally said that on the phone with me the other day.
Well, if it was an engagement ring, it would have been how much is it? An engagement ring. You've only known her 3 weeks.
Exactly. And I have no intentions of buying a petty ass engagement ring. I'm going into the few digits up there, like 20 grand and up.
Yeah.
I'm not going to for no $2,000, $3,000 engagement ring. Even if a woman says, "I don't want either an engagement ring," I don't care. This is what I want to do. This is my plan. So I'm not spending 20 grand on somebody for not
First of all, there were too many. Were there red? Yeah, there were red flags. Her not wanting me to know where she lived to come up and help her move kind of put me off a little bit. It really put me off because
Yeah,
I
because
was sick and tired of
if
it. Yeah,
she's
it was
serious, then I mean, if she's serious, that wouldn't have been a problem. And I would think she would want her parents to say, "Hey, this is my boyfriend. This is who I'm with," because they would have to eventually meet you.
exactly. Unless it was going to be, I don't know, she was going to keep me under wraps for like X amount of time. Who the fuck knows? I mean, my ex girlfriend. You know what, Sasha? If you hear this, I'm sorry to make the comparison, but you know what? Grow a pair like my ex and stand up for yourself. Anyway, um,
So she was going to meet you for dinner at the restaurant.
we were, yeah, I don't know where. I was just gonna drive up there, and I told her, I said, I'll drive up. It's gonna be a very long trip. It's gonna be like a couple of days worth. And I said, I'll come there on a weekend when you're working so that I can grab myself a motel room and then I can come pick you up from work and we can go out in that area. Cause I've never really been around the city that she lives in. I've never been around that city. And we were talking about seeing the Christmas decorations together. She was kind of stuck on this. I've never had a really good Christmas thing.
Hmm.
So okay, so we go and we see the Christmas decorations. Hopefully there'll be a little bit of snow on the ground. It would be a nice touch or whatever. And we'll find a restaurant or I'll look for one while you're working and I'll make reservations and we'll go out and I'll give you your gifts. And then I don't know if you want me to take you home or drop you off at the corner. I will, however you want to fucking do it. If you don't want me to know where you live, I'll get you an Uber home if you don't want me to know where you live. But I want to go out to dinner with you and I want to give you these gifts. Okay, fine. I guarantee you, when Crystal hears this live, she's going to start going off about how I was going to take her to a motel and rape her. I guarantee you.
Th-
So
with with that situation, she doesn't want you to live. Blah blah blah. Okay, fine. You can meet her out in public.
mhm.
Take her clothes. If she can't bring her bed, the nice guy that you are, I would think, well, honey, I don't want to bring my bed. Can we, buy me another one when I get there?
I'm going to buy you another one when you get here then. Fuck that bed.
And there, you don't. In there, you don't know where her mother lives. Nobody's gonna get, robbed or raped, and everybody's happy.
I tell you, I am for them to keep going on and on about me being cheap and all this other shit. She didn't give it a chance to find out. She can kick herself in the ass now. This is her
Mm.
fault. She can kick herself in the ass. She wants to go to the college that's here. She would have had a fucking apartment. If she needed a new bed, I'd have got her a new bed. We actually looked at, I don't want to leave this out, but we actually looked at pre-furnished apartments as well because her main concern was her fucking clothes and she needed big closet space. Then she said, I don't really want a furnished apartment. I'm like, all right, fine, fuck it, whatever. I'm just trying to think of all angles. Remember, number one, I am not a millionaire. I do very well, but I'm not a millionaire. And the reason I have money is because I don't spend it fucking foolishly. The most foolish thing I bought was my fucking car. And I love my baby, so I don't give a fuck. And I don't, some people might say I'm stingy. I'm really not stingy. I'm stingy with myself, meaning if I see something I want, I tell myself, I probably don't really need that. But if
Yeah,
it's somebody I love and care about and they want something, I'm gonna go all out. That's just the fucking way I am. But being single since I broke up with my ex, I managed to save a lot of fucking money. I really, because she had me buying dumb shit. When I tell you dumb shit, I mean dumb shit. We're not even going to get into it. All right,
yeah,
we're not even going to get into it. There's a lot of things that I kept quiet about because Sasha gets fucking jealous and I can't open up about anything to do with that. And I don't really want to because I don't care. I left her. Oh, yeah. Guys, I'm sorry for being all over the place. I did say I was going to tell you how I broke up with my ex. My ex-girlfriend, who claims to be not a feminist, started coming at me with the I'm a boss bitch, independent woman bullshit, queen this, queen that, I'm a queen, queen, queen. To the point where I said, fuck this shit. You want to lead the relationship.
You tried to come off as a very elegant, sophisticated woman, but behind these closed doors, you are a fucking beast. You are as ratchet and ghetto as the day is long. If you're so much of a boss babe and so much of an independent woman, then you pay the rent and all the bills, honey. Bye bye. And I left her. Now, that being said, Sasha tried to come at me with the, well, what if you're mad at me about something and you kick me out or you leave me and I don't have anything? I'm like, oh my God, Sasha. First of all, my ex, I lived in the same city she grew up in. She easily could have gone right back home to her mama, which is what she did. She wasn't out on the fucking street. You are living here in another state. I am not going to kick you out of anywhere. I am not that fucking heartless. We
Yeah,
can break up, and if you still need some help, I will help you until you move on.
and you know what? Too, if she was worried about that, um, she could have said, you know what, or like y'all's plan was, you're gonna pay for 3 months, you get a job, and so forth. She could have got a job, took your name off the lease, and there, that shit would have been hers.
Yep.
And if y'all broke up, that shit would have been hers. She she wanted the now, 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 now. I mean, honestly, the things that you are doing or willing to do, ordering these fur coats and these rings and everything, you did that in a matter of 3 weeks. She if she hell wait till next month, she would have had it all.
Yep.
But she wanted it right then, right then, right then, right then, right then.
And the most contradictory thing that's going on in this whole battle between me and Crystal, because this is not even, Sasha is out of the fucking, this is not even really about her anymore. This is about being lied about by Crystal on her live to, I don't know how many followers she has that are listening to this bitch.
3,000.
Something like that. It's
Yeah.
really more about that. The thing is, they keep saying 3 weeks, 3 weeks. You don't know her like that. You don't know her like that. But if I don't know her like that, why are you telling me what I should have spent on her?
Yeah, exactly. Because they need to move on to the next lick.
Yep.
They need to move
The
on to the
reason the reason I didn't drop a lot of money is because even though I was catching feelings, I still knew I have to get to know this girl. But I do have a sense of love for her because it just developed on its own. We are on the phone all the fucking time. It was becoming routine. It was like I loved it. Even when I had to get shit done and she was kind of a distraction, I was like, all right, whatever. I'll keep her on the fucking phone. It didn't really bother me. Or whereas anyone else, I would have said, can I call you back later? I have to get stuff done and I can't multitask with you on the phone.
Yeah.
It's a no-win situation. No matter what I would do for this girl, it was not enough. But it was also too soon, but it was also not enough. You can't fucking win in this argument.
Not with Crystal, battery in the back. No.
Nope. Sasha has got to get away from that. That is so toxic, and I'm so dumbfounded as to how she can't see the toxicity coming from that whole friggin' channel. It's nothing but toxicity, and she's got to see it. Whether she calls me up and says, hey, let's talk about it, or she moves on, she's got to get away from Crystal.
I don't understand why she's not. Why is she turning to Crystal for advice rather than a mother, sister, aunt, cousin, some other friend, somebody in real life?
You know? And why would you take advice from someone you also don't know? Crystal just said on her live she doesn't know this girl from a can of paint. Well, if you don't know her from a can of paint,
Bella,
you don't know me
Bella,
from a can of paint.
Bella says, "Would you be willing to rekindle if Sasha sees how Crystal is?"
If Sasha sees how Crystal is and I'm not out dating someone else, then yes. Abso-fucking-lutely. Because I feel for this girl and I feel even more, I don't want to say pity, but I don't want her to be steered in the wrong fucking direction in life, and what she's hearing on that live is going to steer her wrong. She's already at the point of believing that her vagina has a price tag on it. Honey,
Hi,
no it
Psycho Candy.
doesn't.
Hello, Psycho Candy. Yeah. Honestly, it would, in my opinion, it would be very hard for you to um know for sure that if she was to leave Crystal alone, that she really does. I mean, I'm sure you don't want to monitor her 24/7, but I mean,
No, I don't. I want to know if she were to call me up and say, "Hey, let's have a talk and see what happens." I would just want to know, the same way she doesn't want me going to that restaurant, which I kept my promise with. I want to know that she will stop listening to Crystal. Because if Crystal doesn't know her from a can of paint, she doesn't know me from a can of paint. And Sasha should listen to that right there, Sasha. If she doesn't know you from a can of paint, that means everything she's saying about me is coming from the can of paint she doesn't know.
yeah.
It's all made up in her mind. She doesn't know me either. She's telling you, I'm going to rape you. I'm going to hold you hostage. I'm going to fuck you and leave you after 3 months. That's why I only said 3 months. No, I said 3 months because you should be able to find a job if you want to work. Honey, if you don't want to work, you don't have to work. It's that simple. But she made it clear she does want to work. She likes to be out and about and socializing. She's not really all that introverted. A little bit, but not much.
Well, Sasha says she wants to work. In Crystal's mind, no, you don't work. You sit at home and let the man go.
Well,
So
tell you what, she's
I don't know if Sasha's ever told Crystal, well, Crystal, I still want to work. She probably like, girl, bitch, please, nah, you don't work, nah, we hoes, hyperme over everything else. Don't work, let that motherfucker do the job.
I tell you what, Sasha's going to see herself going through a lot of relationships with that attitude. A
I
lot.
mean, talk about she literally could have had everything. I mean, you're getting her an apartment. I mean, she didn't have to work if she didn't want to. I mean, she could have had everything and
Hmm.
going to college, but
Hmm.
she listens to fat pig sitting at home eating chicken nuggets. Man, oh my goodness.
Yeah. Yeah, she listens to a woman that eats ramen noodles. Excellent. Miss High Class Ramen Noodle.
She could have been. Oh yeah, Sasha could have been the kept woman that
Mhm.
Crystal claims she is. Wow.
I tell you, this has been very fucking draining. And, I mean, it hurt like a bitch when it first happened. But
Yeah.
now, after all this, it's more like I'm still, when it comes to Sasha herself, I'm torn as to whether I want to really believe that it was a setup from the start or if it was influenced as it went on. So yeah, I don't know. I really, I'm still up in the air as far as where her mind was from the very beginning, from the first conversation, and how it all started. If she obviously was listening to this woman, but I don't know what this woman's previous lives were like, and I don't
What
know.
what you seen, what you saw that all men are drama.
Hmm.
What that lot, they're all the same.
Okay.
They're all the same. And as long as she's been listening to Crystal for I don't know exactly how long, but Crystal gave her the blueprint on how to treat men. She met you, and you guys had your great conversations and whatnot. And now it's like, and it's time. And she probably told Crystal, "I met this guy, blah blah
Hmm.
blah." And there it
Yep.
came to the okay. Well, make sure that he buys you stuff and this and the other. Okay, well, Crystal, he spent this amount of money. Girl, what? Just that amount? Oh no, y'all not competitive. Get rid of him. He needs to spend more. So
Yeah,
she,
there's the lack of compatibility right there. It's her telling her that we're not compatible. Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
I mean, Crystal gave her the blueprint and she put it into action, and I would say that she probably really did like you,
I think
but
she did.
yeah, I think she did. Especially because I mean, she didn't have to spend the amount of time that you guys spent FaceTiming. That showed that she liked you, but she had to remember, oh yeah, I forgot what Crystal said. I got to get out of my feelings and do what Crystal said. Get that money. Get that money. Get that money.
Mhm. Unbelievable.
Because she's gonna rape your mother and all. Chris, Crystal throws that. I mean, she talks about that molestation and rape and porn and blackmail.
That's all she talks about is sex. She is stuck on this girl's vagina and sex, and then rape, and then trannies. Why was she asking me why I don't tell trannies to not wear wigs? What did trannies have to do with our conversation?
Because you are a guy. They're black, white, or whatever. There are guys out there, that talk about women wearing wigs. Why don't you wear your own hair? Guys talk about that, and then you got trannies trying to dress as women who wear wigs, and she just put the two and two together. Well, you're gonna complain about a black woman wearing wigs. What about? Are you complaining about the trannies wearing them too? That's all it was.
Why the hell does that matter? We're not dating trannies. I don't give a fuck what some guy who thinks he's a woman wants to do. You're a fucking weirdo.
It doesn't matter if you're going to complain about black women wearing if trees wore wigs, she would be telling you to complain about the trees wearing wigs.
And I never told Sasha she can't wear wigs. I said I would like to see your natural hair. I want to be able to run my fingers through a woman's hair, not a fucking wig. And for anyone who wants to say, "Oh, you don't know black," listen, I've only dated black women. I've had black girlfriends that have done the braids, which I didn't like. Well, my ex had got the braids. She never put her hair up in a bonnet, and her braids would always fucking rub on my face on the pillow, and I'd wake up with a big scratch on my face. I'm like, fucking hate these braids. But
But
I know what
it's not
black
going to
hair is
stop you.
like.
Yeah, I mean, you might prefer, but I'm pretty sure you weren't telling her what to do. You're just expressing what you like, but she can do whatever she wants because it's about
It's
her,
no different than
not her
Sasha
hair.
telling me. It's no different than when Sasha told me something about, she was like, "Oh, I'd like to see you." I think she said something about liking to see me in a suit and whatever. And I told her, I said, my typical style of life, I put a little weight on in Miami. I do not know how the fuck that happened. It's hot there. I walked around a lot. I don't know how I put some weight on. But I am the type of person that can still shop at H&M and wear fitted fucking small and medium t-shirt, not t-shirts, button shirts. And I like to dress in button shirts that, they're not tucked in, a nice pair of jeans, and a blazer. That's my style of dress. It's been that way for many years. I love that. It looks
Hmm.
classy. It doesn't look trashy. I'm
Hmm.
not with this whole wear the pants down the crack of your ass shit. So fucking stupid. And like, so I'm trying to lose a little more weight and get back into. I'm like, I've actually got a really good fucking trainer at the gym, a really good trainer. And right now my belt, it's useless because I've lost so much weight that the belt, I can't, like, the last buckle that I put it in, it still like droops and my pants will still fall down. I'm like, oh fuck, I got to get a new belt now. But I dress that way and I have the clothes from before I moved to Miami. I still have my fitted fucking clothes and they look fantastic. And I put them in my closet and I look at them and I go, I'm going to get back in that shit. I'm going to get back in that shit. And I am. And if Sasha and I were to go out as nice as she dresses, we would look like the cutest fucking couple.
Yeah.
But
Um.
she said that she told me that she said she wants to see me, dressed up. Okay, so I'd like to see you with your natural hair on occasion. What's the problem?
Yeah. Well, that is that's a trigger for most black women, I guess. I mean,
Well, I'll tell you what.
I have never seen black women that triggered over that particular topic ever in my life.
Actually,
That was some crazy shit.
I never saw it until I got on YouTube myself. I discovered a lot of things since I've been on YouTube. But hey, I'm 50 years old. I was already making my choices before YouTube existed, and it's
Mhm.
not going to change.
Right. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, the thing today with that going on live today and still continuing this shit all because, and we don't really know, we really do not know what happened, but that last email I sent her was days ago, and for Crystal to get on today and say that I'm still contacting Sasha is a load of bullshit. And the reason I had to jump in there and get on the phone, even though she's telling me, "Oh, you're a liar. You're not even calling." I was blowing that phone up and it was ringing and going to fucking voicemail. So I don't know what she was doing on her end. But now the bitch has my real phone number and I swear to God, I'm not going to fucking change it because of you, bitch. If you're listening, I'm not going to change it because of you. But let something happen to me. After all the threats. Oh, by the way, Angel, I made a new video.
Yes, I haven't had a chance to look at it yet,
Okay.
but
Um,
I will.
with all the threats that she made in that video, and now she wants to backtrack and say, "Oh, I'm not threatening you." Yeah, it's too late. That's like walking into a bank and saying, I'm about to stick this place up." Oh no, I'm not. I'm just kidding. Yeah, okay. Nice try.
Yeah,
So
she probably saw that video. That's why she was backtracking.
no, she couldn't have seen it because I was actually uploading it when she was live.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, in that case,
Somebody must have told her you better make sure you go on there and say, yeah. Somebody must have grown a pair of fucking balls or whatever. But the thing is, oh shit. See, I lost my train of thought again. Oh yeah, when she went on live today and she started off by saying that I was still contacting her when that email was from days ago. But Sasha, it is very possible Sasha just saw it recently as of today. Even I am guilty of not checking my emails, and I've actually been late a couple times on payments on shit. I'm like, oh fuck, I better send a little more because I don't pay attention to my emails sometimes. And I'll see something that came in on Saturday, I'll see it on Tuesday. And so that's probably what happened. For her to go on there and tell people that I'm still contacting her is detrimental to me when I'm not contacting her because it could get me in a world of fucking trouble legally if Sasha takes it there. But
well,
I'm not contacting her. She's
well,
looking at an email message from 2 or 3 days ago and saying, "Oh, here it is right here." Yeah, it's 3 days old.
well, the thing about that, I mean, the dates are there.
Yep.
And let's just say that Sasha did call her. Oh yeah, and Sasha, yeah, I got an email from him the other day. Crystal will come on live. Oh, he contacted her today.
Yes. Yep.
So
That's what she's doing.
that's just Crystal. What Crystal's plan today is to get you back on her live and go crazy like he did yesterday. And like I was telling you, I was watching. Oh, there he is. Get
I
over
was
there.
livid. I had lost it. I was done with these people. They were not listening. They were not caring about. You ask me a question, you're not letting me answer. As soon as I try to answer, you talk over me. And then after you get the answer, you take the answer and you twist it into something I didn't even say. Like they
They
said, "Oh, you're saying she used you and this," and I never said she used me.
they don't care about your answer. They're gonna
I
let you say
know.
just enough, and then she's gonna talk over you so she can have more to add to her narrative or whatever she's trying to say. They don't care about your answer. You're never gonna be you're not gonna be right in their eyes. You can, like I said, you can spend 1,000, like the lady said, you can spend 1,000, but we're gonna need some more. What you gonna do in 3 weeks after that? So it's always gonna be you're never gonna do enough.
Right.
And they're not worried about you doing enough. It's never going to be enough. Oh, you got her an apartment paying for 3 months? Like the woman said, well, what about well, it's 12 months in a year. You're never going to be, okay, you're a good guy for doing that. It's never going to be that. Never. It's never gonna. You're never gonna do right.
Nope.
It's always gonna be what next? What next? What you gonna do next?
And they're going on and on. But what if she wants to go get her nails done and her hair done? Why is this any concern of yours? You are not her. Sasha is Sasha. You are you.
Well,
Me
with
taking Sasha to get her nails done is not getting your fucking nails done.
Crystal likes to take Crystal likes to take credit. She's always going on. I made up this. I didn't get credit for it. I didn't get credit for it. Let's do this, but don't forget it was my idea. Give me my motherfucking credit. And she wants to give credit that one of her girls that she taught who listened to her is out there getting all this money. She's living like this with her brag because she listened to Big Mama.
Yep.
That's what she wants. Crystal wants recognition for doing motherfucking nothing.
It's almost as if she wants to live vicariously through other people.
She's gonna have to. Just like she got that money from if you're paying for everything and you're giving Sasha money and Sasha's cash apping to her, that's payment for Crystal for the work she's put in grooming Sasha to meet a man like you.
Yep.
And that $66 was not enough. $100,
No.
and she gave Crystal 66 of it.
Yep.
That's Crystal thinking, oh shit, I gotta talk to my girl. I need some more. I'm pimping.
Yep. Because I'm convinced that she might be having girls pay her for her advice, kind of like some of these YouTubers, these higher class content creators, they will have people call them for sessions and that you have to pay for it. Kevin Samuels did it. Myron from Fresh and Fit does it. You want to have a one-on-one with me? It costs this much. Call up. We'll make a date and I talk to you for 30 minutes or an hour and you pay me this much. It's kind of like the same thing she's doing.
Yes, Crystal's not that, when it comes to technology, Crystal's not that great up on it. I mean, neither am I, but she's doing it the way she can. She's not gonna say, I'm gonna give you sessions and whatnot. She had a live. I did 8, 9, 10 hour live, and y'all, all I got was a fucking dollar. That's all I got, the fucking dollars. But she's bitching at her own supporters, her own black crazy ass women, that they only gave her a fucking dollar. So she's bitched at them as well.
Mm-hmm. Damn. That's talk about ungrateful and unappreciative. People like that, their time is going to come, man. Their time is going to come. But maybe someone like her will never be humbled.
Oh, she never will be.
No.
She lost actually in a live, and then she went on when she actually it was a video of colorism. She started talking about, because she likes to call herself peanut butter, and she came up with this thing CPCB, which is cocoa, peanut butter, bronze, and caramel. If you are not those shades, then you can't sit at the table with her. The dark skinned women in her chat got upset along with others, and I don't give a fuck. I'm saying if you ain't this color, you can't sit with it. You dark skinned girls, y'all think y'all this, y'all think y'all that. It got into a whole big, and she actually left, and she's good. She is good about when she puts her foot in her mouth, she leaves YouTube 4 or 5 months, maybe, and then she comes back and she put her mouth in her foot in her mouth that day. She lost 2 subscribers that day, and another one she thought she might have left, and that was Georgia Peach. Oh, Geisha Peach. Geisha Peach, I'm so sorry. She used to give me money, and Geisha Peach, I miss you, girl. And she started crying. Geisha Peach was my friend. And I'm thinking, I made a video. You're only missing Geisha Peach because she's the one that gave you money. The other 2 did not. You ain't gonna fuck about them 2. But you mentioned Geisha Peach because that's the one giving you money. That's the friend that you met. Oh, Geisha Peach. Geisha Peach, I don't even think she was in that conversation for Crystal to be mad. She might have been busy and hadn't been around, but she thought she lost Geisha Peach in that. But that's the only one she was pleading to. The other girls, well, you thought this and you think that and you think this. That's not an apology. An apology is I am sorry for what I said to hurt your feelings. But instead, well, you thought this, you thought that. They thought that based on how you were treating them, telling them they weren't light enough, can't sit at the table because they ain't peanut butter and all this bullshit. So she starts her own colorism wars against black women like that. And then on top of that, collabing with a black man to scam her same subscribers money so she can leave YouTube. He put that phone call on YouTube for everyone to see. I call her a scammer. She talking about she ain't a scammer because she didn't get paid. I'm like, well, you a fucking scam. You a failed scammer. You still scam. You tried to. You just didn't get paid. You didn't make any money on it because your
Right.
plan was in your face.
Mm-hmm.
She she's the most disgusting person I have ever met. I have ever met.
That's why I am really, really shocked at, if you were to see Sasha and hear how she speaks and how she carries herself, it is polar opposite to Crystal. So I don't know why someone like Sasha even took to Crystal the moment she first heard the woman. She could have been like, "Oh, this woman is not feminine. This woman is not, classy and sophisticated. This is street trash." I don't know what it is that I don't know this fucking divesting shit and all this. Like, if you like white guys, just date white guys and stop worrying about all this bullshit, all this extra shit.
I'm gonna take a stab at it. Okay. Okay, she lives at home with who?
Her mom, I think, is all. Yeah.
Okay, she lives at home with her mom. Okay, dad's not in the picture.
Well, yeah, he's in the picture, but they're not together. Kind of like my ex,
Does she see her? Okay, well, okay, dad divorced mom.
or whatever. However that went. Yeah, I don't
Okay,
really.
so there's a broken relationship right there.
Yeah.
Crystal Crystal preaches on that. And then, of course, she said if she was out and that black man was looking at her or starting to, or whatever, and whatever, my boyfriend's right here. He's gonna beat you up or whatever she said about that black man. He looking at me. Oh. So there's that fear of black men. Could be again based on her childhood. So, and then now she, Crystal's preaching, get the money, get the money. I don't think she has. I don't know if she's been in any other relationships, and she's 20, so she probably has. If she has any experience in relationships, she has very little. But she doesn't know what to do. She can't or won't go to mom, sister, cousin, aunt. She's going to Crystal for relationship advice.
Unbelievable.
She's getting the wrong relationship advice. That's where she's messing up at. She's turned to the wrong person.
Yep.
And that's where she's messed up at. Because your relationship, your conversations with her shows you one person. And that's probably her. But when it comes to relationships, she doesn't have an identity. And so she goes looking to Crystal for it. And what you get is you get Sasha with Crystal's mindset.
Yep.
And it's sad. So I would say that her lack of relationships is that's where the cracks begin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it could be.
Because I mean, imagine if she had a good example. I'm speaking of home, a good example of what a relationship looks like,
Mm-hmm.
and if she had a stronger mind, she could still listen to Crystal. Because I mean, I do, but I don't take Crystal shit. But if she had a strong example of what a relationship was, she probably wouldn't fall for Crystal shit. She could probably listen to her, laugh at it, and then still have a good relationship with you or whoever.
Yeah.
So, but she don't know what a good relationship is, and she's listening to Crystal, someone who can't even have her own.
She could have had a great relationship, but she is now under the impression, she's under the idea from Crystal that a relationship is all about the money. So if it's all about the money, then what's going to happen is, you know, the things about the manosphere I don't like. Kevin pushed it, Fresh and Fit push it. It's the one thing I absolutely don't like is the push for women to accept that a high earning man is going to go outside the marriage. Now, it's true, it does happen, it is unfortunate. The higher the value of the man, the more he's going to go outside. I don't like the push of that. They can say it happens, but they push it as if to like pushing it to happen. So, although on some level they're really giving guys good advice on how to get their money up and how to get better and better yourself and buy yourself a nice car, buy some nice clothes, put on some nice jewelry, look nice, present yourself well. Don't smoke weed. Myron Gaines always says that. Stop with the fucking pot smoking and sitting in mommy's basement and playing fucking, video games with Cheetos in your mouth. I get all that part. But all these men that will take that advice and better themselves are also going to have the end result of, okay, now I make fuck you money, so you're going to marry me and be my wife, but you got to put up with the fact that I want to go fuck all those girls over there.
And it's also teaching women
to avoid those kind of guys.
and then to avoid those kind of guys, or you have Crystal saying, yeah, go ahead and get with that guy, but don't spend too much time with him. Hurry up, get the bag, and get out.
And that's how girls like Sasha, who are such little girls and they're a virgin, blah, blah, she's going to end up getting ran through. And what's going to happen is she is going to realize that when she gives her body to someone, there's going to be an emotional attachment that the person with the money is not going to have with her. The person with the more money is going to be like, you're just another chick on another day in the week. And she's going to find out the fucking hard way. Because Crystal's pushing them to go chase after these high value CEOs and owners of these big fucking companies that have a fucking different 18, 19-year-old girl on their fucking yacht every fucking day, taking pictures on Instagram. All these girls on yachts didn't go out and rent those yachts on their vacation. They were invited to them by the older, creepy, dusty guys that I'm being called.
Bella said, I believe it's called trauma bonded grifting. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Trauma bonding grifting. Yes. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. So when her and her little fucking minions want to sit there and tell me I need to go date somebody in my own age group, why? Why do I need to date someone in my own fucking age group? They know damn well all these fucking Instagram models who are not models by any stretch of the imagination. They're just self-proclaimed. Every one of them on a yacht in Miami is on a rich, older man's yacht.
Yep.
So, duh.
And she herself, she was 14 with a 20, he did 24, 27-year-old. She was 14. He pumped and dumped her, though.
Oh, who, Crystal?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, that's but I'm a pedophile. Okay.
Crystal used to be a stripper. Crystal lived in Brooklyn, poor, eating boogers. Something about they found a mattress on the side of the curb, and her brothers or whoever mom, they took it upstairs to their apartment to sleep on it.
Oh my God! And Sasha listens to this woman. Oh my! And not just listens, but listens, like obeys.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Crystal, she lives in Florida in a house that when she she ran from CPS in New York with the meth head milkman. She moved into a place, and I think sight unseen, she moved into it. Mm-hmm. And I think she paid like $5,000 to get in, and then she decided to buy it. And instead of the guy taking the $5,000 off the price, he charged it even more. She got money from, I guess, her mother-in-law. Her son's father killed himself. She got like $250,000, and she pretty much she's burned through that money. This is 2 years ago. She burned through that money. She's got her walls painted purple, greens, and blues, and she's got sheets or something hanging up as curtains. Um, and plus the stuff she got from Dan, which he said he bought her an oven. When he went down there, it was so disgusting. It looked like it was like it hadn't been cleaned in years. She's got roaches, what she calls water bugs. Those are oriental roaches. That's what they're called. Water bug roach, same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Roaches coming in her house. I called her live one time about that. We went at it. And she's like, those are water bugs. Those are water bugs. She's calling me a tranny. But house is a wreck. Her last Dan, who everybody knows, he bought her. They FaceTime. She's washing clothes in the bathtub. Before he even meets her, he buys her a washer. He buys her
Wow.
stove. He buys her refrigerator. He buys her a total gym so she can lose weight, like she keeps claiming. He bought a bed. Her son broke the bed in a week because he was jumping on it.
Hmm.
Her son's autistic. Dan's outside throwing the football to the left, to the right, playing with the kid. In a matter of a few minutes, he caught on to the pattern that Dan was throwing the ball, and he was setting himself up ready to catch the ball. He was trying to show Angelo how to make himself a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Crystal says, why are you doing that? He's like, I'm trying to teach him how to do this for himself. Oh, that's a waste of time. She enjoys and relishes in the fact that her son can't speak.
Hmm.
Hell, if he could, he'd be telling somebody all the shit he goes through when it's just the two of them. I have heard her yell at him on lives. Oh, that's just the ape in you, which is what she calls black men. Well, if his father is Puerto Rican and he's got you for a mother, and that's the ape coming out of him, what parent you
Hmm.
think the fucking ape came from? You bitch.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, she took some of that money and got tutoring lessons. He may not, he's mute, he can't speak, but there could be ways. She's always talking about, I gotta go in there and wipe his ass. He don't know how to wipe himself. He's autistic, not stupid. You
Hmm.
take the time that you take in a live, you can show him how to wipe himself. He may not do a completely good job, but you can check on that. If he's
Mm-hmm.
hungry, he wants to go outside or whatever, y'all can, I mean, sign language or some kind of signal so he can tell you what his needs are.
Yep.
The vibe that she had yesterday, he gets out of school at 2:30, 3 o'clock, whatever. When she decided to actually pay attention to him and feed him them fucking ramen noodles, it was 5 or 6 hours later because I watched the clock. When she decided I'm gonna fix him some dinner. Ramen noodles, you a kept woman, you got a house, you got your bills paid, you don't need nothing, you're feeding him ramen noodles. The last time I'm gonna go in here and make him an omelet. And I thought to myself, oh yeah, I wanna see this shit. It turned out to be some scrambled eggs.
Hmm.
She can't cook. She don't want to take the time. All these frozen vegetables, sodium, sodium, sodium. That's not healthy for him. Yeah, you're feeding him, but it's not healthy. And he's getting big. And if he had the sense, he'd knock her ass out. She's got him fed long enough to be breathing to keep them checks rolling in. Because if she didn't have him, she would die because she don't want to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And when she thought her other son was gonna, when we found out about her other son, she thought that he was gonna come and take Angelo away, and she was making threats to have him killed if he ever tried. He was
Jeez.
taking her. He gonna take her cash cow.
Hmm.
This is the woman that Sasha is listening to.
That's a shame. I really wish there was something I can do. I would love to make amends with Sasha. I would love to like be able to just, but I fear for her taking the advice of this woman, taking any type of lessons or advice from this woman, and I fear for any other woman that even young, older, it just Crystal can get at anyone of any age, depending on whatever is going on in that person's life at the time. When you are down and out, if you just come out of a divorce or a relationship, whatever, when you are down and out, you're vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
Sasha's vulnerable maybe because of her age. Other women will be vulnerable due to their situations. And she's going to fucking ruin a lot of women. And I am going to say this because it does happen. Thankfully, I value my freedom. But there are men out there that when women try to finesse them, they will hurt you.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Let me see what the chat said. I saw a comment a second ago. Said I was watching one of her lives and Crystal was looking at her keys and a few minutes later Angela brought her keys to her. He knew what's going on. Yes. And the fact that she's sitting there talking about raping and buttholes being busted wide open and
She's
watching
sick.
porn. Yeah, that's how she described the so-called alleged molestation of her son. His butthole was gaping open and did. And the state of New York found no fault whatsoever. That's the
Wow.
New York versus Lopez.
She's a sick human being, man. She's absolutely sick.
Yeah, she's sick. She is.
And I just don't understand how Sasha doesn't see that. Like, you've got to see that. Never mind how upset I got and I was yelling. The fuck. Never mind that. Sasha, listen to what this woman is saying and her blatant lie. Sasha, if you hear this, I'm challenging you to go on her next live in front of her entire audience and say, Crystal, I never lived there and didn't move out of any apartment there. Because your homegirl, Crystal, literally told a fucking story on her live today. She blatantly lied and said you were already here living in the apartment and I was bothering you and you left and moved out. I challenge you, if you have any fucking dignity and any self respect for yourself, self respect, don't worry about respecting this moose. Have some dignity and get on there on her next live in front of her entire audience and tell her you lied.
I'm
This woman
shaking.
is not going to hurt you, Crystal. Fucking Sasha. This woman is not going to hurt you, Sasha. She's not going to come after you for dissing her in front of her whole fucking audience of minions that believe every word that comes out of her mouth, even when they know she's fucking lying.
I'm shaking my head. I'm gonna tell you right now, she's not gonna do that.
No, she's not going to do it, but she is a powerful Barbie. That's the name
Um,
now she uses in the mod. Powerful Barbie. If you're so powerful, Sasha, let's see your power in that chat live as a moderator saying you lied on me and on Maestro.
oh wait a minute. Powerful Barbie is Sasha?
Yeah.
I didn't. I was wondering where. Okay, I did not know that. Oh well. Okay, I did not know that. But she's not gonna. I mean, Crystal said that she don't have many friends and this that. I don't know if Sasha does or not. But if she don't, these are her friends, and breaking that chain from them. It's ugh.
She's not
Mm.
gonna, she's not going to do it. She would rather sit there and pretend she's so frightened of me. So frightened of me. Oh, I'm going to chop her up and put her in the backyard. That's why I started getting sarcastic and saying, no, I don't have any room left in the backyard. You know, I got all the bodies there already. It's like, the fuck, man. I literally can't watch people put contact lenses in their eyes. Your finger doesn't belong in your eyeball. It grosses me out.
Yeah.
I am the biggest pussy and the with the weakest stomach when it comes to that shit. My mother went to med school and I made the mistake of looking at her books when I was a kid and looking at like actual photographs of surgeries and open heart surgeries and genital surgeries. I'm like, oh my God. Like, no eyeball surgeries? No fucking way. No fucking way. Matter of fact, if I watch a horror movie where there's some kind of trauma to the eyes, I cringe. And matter of fact, me and my best friend went to go see Hostel when that was the big fucking horror movie.
Oh
And the
yeah.
place was so packed. I think it was opening day. And the place was so packed. I found a seat and then he found a seat a few rows above ahead of me. And the scene where the guy is drilling the Asian girl's eyeball out of her fucking head, I saw my friend turn around and look at me because he knew I was cringing and screaming on the inside. And I literally fucking put my hand in my head in my hands and I was like, make it fucking stop. Please, can we fast forward through this part? I can't handle that shit. I can't.
Yeah, breaking her away from them is nearly impossible. She's just gonna have to, I mean, hopefully maybe school will take too much of her time that she won't have time. Maybe she'll meet some new friends in the city she's in and make some real life friends that she won't.
Yeah. I just hope she makes the right friends because you got to be careful in college too. That's where all that shit happens.
Yeah.
If this bitch wants to talk to people about fucking rape, she better tell Sasha if she wants to give any good advice to be fucking careful in college.
And especially that story about how she went to the party and someone put her their phone number in her phone. Keep your phone, cover your drinks. If you leave your drink, buy another.
But the whole time that was my phone number that she forgot about. But she told me that it was a black dude that was checking her out throughout the whole party.
Yeah, she's not she's a little naive on that part. Keep your
Mhm.
phone and your belonging. You don't leave that stuff laying around. Mm, mm, mm.
I don't know. I don't know what to do. I mean, I'm probably gonna. It's probably gonna sting for a little while, and
Yeah.
I really, I just I just wish she would listen to somebody other than this woman because this woman literally makes up shit in her head. She literally blatantly lies and all this stuff about she's afraid of you, she's scared of you, you're gonna rape her. Oh my God, the more she says this stuff, the more Sasha believes it. It's a damn shame. It is a. And this, again, hey, Sasha, if you're listening, you said you're a grown woman and you can think for yourself. You said that to me a few times. If you're a grown woman that can think for yourself, stop taking advice from someone that wants to think for you. You're the one who spent 24/7 on the phone with me. This bitch don't know me from the can of paint she's talking about. I don't know Dodger from a can of paint. Well, you don't know me from a can of paint either. But Sasha at least has a foot in the door of knowing me. So let's
Right.
stop with the bullshit of I'm scared of you. There's nothing to be afraid of, Sasha. Well, it is what it is.
I I said in a couple of lives that what I say these women that Crystal wants the women in her chat to be lonely and single like her.
Yeah, crabs
And
in the bucket.
I never thought I would see her destroy somebody's relationship to suit that need. That trauma bonding. She was it's like she was losing one and she had to reel her back in.
Yep. But yeah, man, I don't know. I just had to order food for myself. I for like the whole day when this all first happened, I didn't fucking eat. I couldn't even think of what the fuck I wanted to eat or do with myself. I literally ate that. This happened to what, Saturday night into Sunday. Yeah, because Saturday is when she worked, the day after good Black Friday. And Saturday she worked, she had me in her earpods and everything was going fine. Everything was going fucking fine. But I think by that time, that's when she said she wanted to talk to Crystal.
And she know what she told me? Oh, the donation of $66. She told me I sent Crystal a $5 donation on Snapchat on Cash App. So she said it was $5. Crystal says it's 66. Interesting. Why would if somebody just gave you free fucking money, why would you take more than half of it and give it to someone else and then walk around the mall wishing you had enough money to buy some shit?
Because she was wanting you to buy the shit.
But she had the 100 to buy at least something with, but gave more than half of 100 to Crystal. That left her with $44. The fuck you gonna do with $44? Why did she give Crystal so much? Doesn't make sense.
Well, Crystal said in her live today that she paid her to get rid of you.
Yeah. She says that, but like I said, there was nothing wrong with us that whole daytime. It was after she got off of work. She was sitting in the break room eating. I had gotten some Uber Eats that night also. We were kind of eating together. And then she got on the bus and the Wi-Fi was horrible. And I said, honey, you know what? Just take the bus. Call me when you get home. Okay. And
Well,
that's
Kate Lane said because this was a game to them. And if you see Polar Bear Chronicles there, you see him?
no, I walked away from it. I can't see it on here, but I see it on the laptop.
Okay, Polar Bear Chronicles is Crystal Swirls X.
Oh. Wow.
The one I told you that bought the washer and dryer, stove, refrigerator, total
Yup,
gem.
yup. Mm-hmm.
Yes, that is her ex Dan. Hey Dan,
Wow.
how you doing? I wish I could bring him up and he can tell you a little about Crystal too. But I mean, I pretty much told you what I know. Which, you
Yeah.
know, yeah, she.
Well, I mean, I don't even really need to know much more about her. Um, Over these last couple of days, I've learned everything that I feel I need to know, most especially today when she made up a blatant lying story about Sasha already having been here in the apartment and leaving and moving out to be with some guy in a condo. That right there, that sealed the deal for me, that this woman is literally corrupting the minds of so many women, including Sasha and any other younger women that might find her. They're going down the wrong path. That's why I leave my door open for Sasha. If she wants to talk, if she wants to come back, if she doesn't, whatever. But she's got to get away from this toxic woman. This woman is beyond toxic.
Yeah, I really. If she even if she came back, I would be very weary that she's left Crystal alone because I mean she could easily still listen to Crystal, change her change her name, or just sit back and just listen to Crystal. Don't comment, don't make herself aware that she's in the chat, and then when she gets off the live, they can call and discuss what was said in the chat. Crystal can give her more advice and you just get used more and more.
Does Crystal ever watch your channel? Does she know what you do?
uh well, yeah, because she said I'd be going ham on her. So yeah, she's seen my shit.
That's great.
She never commented, but she's seen it.
Well, this is unless she continues to drag it out with more bullshit stories, this is dead in the water.
Well, well, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you now. She's gonna continue this. She's gonna beat this dead horse and beat it and beat it and beat it until there's nothing left to talk about, and then she will go back to her all men bashing sessions. This is new. This is new. Um, this is a new topic, and she's gonna drain it till the last drop. So
To the person,
she's going to trigger you again. Trust me.
oh yeah, I know. And when it comes to my heart, my feelings, and my loyalty and honesty with a woman, and someone is in there, trying to fuck things up, I do get triggered easily. And I just can't help myself when I talk to her. I do not want to be calm with her. When the way I'm talking with you, I do not want to talk to her calmly, because how are you going to talk calmly to someone? How are you going to invite someone to call you and have a civil conversation while calling them names?
She's not there to have a civil
No,
conversation.
she's not.
She wants you to act all crazy to justify what she's saying about you. And you're doing that, especially the one from yesterday.
Yeah, well, I had to let loose, man. I was tired of it. The back
I
and
know.
forth and people talking over me, and then I tell them the answer and they twist the answer, and then they tell me, "Well, you barely know her, but why didn't you buy her an engagement ring?" Well, didn't you say I barely know her? Like, you just answered your own fucking question.
It's content. They are going to
Mhm.
continue to trigger you. You just have to say fuck it and leave it alone. Just as much as you want Sasha to leave it alone, leave her alone, you need to do the same. And I know it's hard. Kay Lane says, "How was?" Hold on. She said, "What?
Yeah, I read that one. I saw that one pop up. They
How was
disappear.
she
They
sick?
pop up and disappear.
She got caught trying to use someone that the extent of her stress."
Yeah, because somebody earlier said she needs to de-stress. I was going to comment on that.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you
if
have?
if if Sasha needs to de-stress from all of this, if any part of Sasha was really truly feeling for me, she needs to really like listen back, and she needs to hear that story that she apparently lived here and moved out, and really reevaluate her fandom of this woman.
Yeah. Crystal blew the situation up, so it did get messy. No one is blaming anybody. Polar Bear says, "My suggestion: do what I did. Cut your losses."
Oh yeah, I mean that's why I like to make the joke that Crystal saved me more money than a phone call to Geico.
Yeah, but she's going to trigger you again. So
Hmm.
just letting you know, she's gonna milk this cow.
Yep. Well, like I said, I mean, I'm not changing my number. My number's staying the same. It's been the same since I moved. I'm not changing it. My best friend lived in Arizona for 10 years and still had his Connecticut number. I'm not changing my number. But because she was playing, I think she was playing around. Oh, you're not calling me. Look, you lying. You lying. I even took a screen record of me dialing the number, and it's just kept going to voicemail and ringing and ringing and ringing and then going to voicemail. I'm like, lady, do you know how to use a phone? And they start, oh, this is a crappy phone. Both of her phones are crappy. Miss, I got so much money.
The one that she had everybody call in for some reason, it goes to voicemail on everybody. What it
Hmm.
is that you have to text her and then she will call you back.
Well, I was able to get through yesterday.
I
And I
know.
still I have the number, in the phone. I hit *67 so my number wouldn't show up, and it went through fine. And I just went back to that, hit it, it started dialing, but it wasn't ringing on her end somehow.
Yeah, she probably turned it off. He said he gonna call, but he ain't doing it. Yeah, it's a game. It's a game. It's a game.
Hmm.
It's a game.
So if
She,
she wants to keep dragging this through the mud, she can. She can have a good, laugh with her little minions that sit there and listen to a blatant liar. They know they're listening to a blatant liar, and they kiss the blatant liar's ass. That's sad. That's
yeah.
really sad.
I mean, the only way this is gonna stop and she's gonna move on is don't give her anything else to talk about. She's gonna keep on eventually, because there have been times when even her subs are like, okay, people calling, okay, next caller, okay, can we change the subject? Okay, I'm tired of this. Can we move on? They have
Mhm.
said that in the chat before. So as long as you're not there giving them the argument, they will get tired of her, talking about it. Okay, this isn't fun anymore. He's not responding. This is boring. Can we talk about something else? But as long as you're arguing with her, they're like, oh yeah, 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 yeah. Let's watch. Let's watch.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's the same thing that happens on all the major podcasts too. When Fresh and Fit get the girls riled up, all the chat goes fucking crazy. Goes
Yeah,
crazy. That's it's it's a rush. It's an adrenaline rush or a what is that? A dopamine rush
Yeah.
in the moment.
So just let her talk her shit,
Mhm.
and eventually they'll get tired of that, and they will want something else to talk about.
But I can't. One thing I cannot do is I cannot let it slide for obvious reasons if she keeps saying that I am still contacting Sasha. If tomorrow or the next day she makes a live saying, "Oh, he's contacting her again," that's a fucking lie.
Yeah. Well, mm, I know that's hard. And if she is listening to this and knowing and hearing what you just said, she's gonna keep on and on and on.
But the saving grace is called a timestamp in the
Right.
email.
Right.
That's the saving grace.
Yeah. Crystal is the queen of lies, definitely.
Yeah. She
Oh,
really must not have a lot going on in her life that she needs to make things happen in her life.
she
She's got to
doesn't.
make up stories to keep something going because she's lonely, miserable. I mean, how is it that it's all these women who are single that are online trying to make like they are the prize? The prize of what? They're fucking single. They don't even have a boyfriend.
That prize shit. Again, that's
Oh,
another. I don't
ooh,
get it.
this made me remember something I wanted to say that Sasha kept saying to me. She said to me in one of our, I don't want to say it was an argument, but it was kind of like debatable. And she kept saying, "I'm the prize. I'm the prize." Wait a minute. What? You're the prize? Which one of us has money in our bank account right now? I think I would be the fucking prize for you, honey. You want to be the prize? Okay, I'm the jackpot then.
Boy, these YouTube terms, man. I to me, you're the prize to each other. You're what each other wants. Everybody wants the prize. You're the prize to each other.
Exactly. Exactly. Because if a woman like Sasha really wants to be loved, all that love me for me shit, then you got to get away from people like Crystal because there's no love to be found with that woman. There's no love to be found in the advice she gives about how to getting money from men is what? So what? That's going to run out over time. Women age too. And I hate to say it, but the older the women get, the less desirable they are. That's just a fact of fucking nature. So if Sasha is all pretty and cute now, she ain't going to be that desirable, pretty and cute at 30 when she doesn't have a stable relationship or marriage because she's listening to this bitch.
At 30, my God.
At
Well,
30, when if a man wants children, at 30, it's going to be a little almost hitting the wall kind of thing.
oh,
And
you just said that. I can't believe it.
yeah, I did. I did say it.
But
Yeah, it hit
men,
the
but
wall.
men get old too.
Men get old too, but I'm gonna keep on saying, well, we got active sperm till the day we die.
Yeah, you do.
That's just the fact of nature, and it's. I mean, we have to accept some things about our old age. Women have to accept things about theirs, and
Right.
as Sasha goes through life, if women like her that are young and beautiful and in their fertile years go through life just finessing men for money, they're going to end up like the women at the end of that video I made where I put that clip of all those women on TikTok. It was a collage of them put together crying about nobody has a ring on my finger. I'm 46. I'm about there. That one lady is 46. I actually watched the original video and she's going into surgery and she doesn't have a husband there to hold her hand. She's got to rely on her mommy. These are the kind of things that happen to women that listen to people like Crystal. And people like Crystal have been around forever.
Even without the internet, you had the feminism movement pushing women to just go get the bag. It was a different figure of speech back in Generation X, but it was the same shit. It was the same shit. Go do you, live your life. And now you lived your life, you got ran through more times than the Holland Tunnel, and nobody wants to take you seriously for a relationship because now you have baggage. Angel, I can't tell you how many times I've met women and gone out on dates, and you talk about making a first impression. I have been on dates and even just in phone conversations of women I've never met because they always drop this bomb of wanting to talk about their exes and who they were in love with. I've heard women on dates with me, as if they were trying to impress me, tell me, oh, there was this one guy I liked a lot. I loved him so much. I'll never love that way again. Now, I don't care if the woman can eventually love better than that. The point is, when you say that to someone you're just trying to get to know, it's a fucking turnoff. It's a total turnoff. We do not want to hear about the fucking first love of your life. It doesn't have to be the first guy you slept with, but there's always going to be that one person that's going to be the ultimate one that you were crazy about, and they're not together anymore. And now they're telling other men, oh, the love of my life was this guy, but he didn't really want a relationship, but I did so much for him and I'll never love like that again. That's a turn off. You don't say that on first dates. And I've had women say that on first dates or second dates as getting to know them on the telephone or whatever. And I'm like, why are you telling me this? This does not impress me. I'm not impressed by that. Why do I want to hear a woman say, I'll never love anyone like I loved ex-boyfriend or ex-guy that fucked me for a year but wouldn't commit to me? I don't want to hear that shit. And that is the kind of woman Sasha will end up being if she follows the lead of Crystal. Because
Yeah.
there will be a guy that she falls for, that she is getting everything she wants financially, and he's going to go off and fuck other women behind her back, and she ain't that kind of girl. She made that very clear.
Yeah.
That's why she hates the manosphere so much.
The one that she really, 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 really wants one day may be the one that breaks her heart the most.
Yep. And the thing is, with what Crystal's putting in her head, whatever, long before Sasha even knew the existence of Crystal, Sasha already had her plan of being married, being in a loving relationship. But Crystal is going to twist that and turn it into, no, Sasha, you don't want to be in love. You just want his money. If he
Mm-hmm.
doesn't have money, he's not good enough for you. You don't want to be in love.
Like she said, the engagement ring was the stupidest thing ever
Yep.
invented. She's not teaching. She's not saying she used to be about getting married. Brad suburbs, nice house, car, and she got hurt by somebody along the way. And then one day she came on. White men ain't good either. And now she just whatever goes on in her miserable life, she comes on YouTube, and that's the new rule. A woman said that her mother was 53 when she was born.
What? Damn.
Yeah, 35 isn't the wall for all of us.
No. Well, I don't know.
Oh.
That's just.
Well, yeah. Have you got everything off your chest?
Yeah, I did. I appreciate it.
Any last words before we go?
No, just Sasha, if you hear this, if you see this, please listen very closely to everything we talked about. Please reconsider following Crystal. And if you want to contact me, my doors are open. So that's it.
Well, okay. I appreciate you doing this live with me. This is the first time YouTube has this new thing where you can go live together, and this is the first time I've ever tried this. And I thank you for joining me.
No problem. Thank you.
Um, yeah, just be careful uh, Crystal will try and trigger you some more.
Yep. Oh, I already know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Okay. Well, thank you,
all right.
Maestro.
Thank you. You have a good night. How do we end this? Do I just X out?
Yeah, if you like, yes.
Okay. All right. Have a good one. Bye bye.
Thank you. Oh boy. Well, well, well. This is quite. Tell the dude to hit my panel Friday. Okay, I will definitely do that. I don't know what his work schedule is, but I wonder if yeah, I'll let him know. Any particular time, Bronze? Any particular time? Look in the chat here. After 7 p.m. Okay. All right. Eastern time. Yeah. We're on the East Coast. Okay. Well, thank you all for joining me. And this is this is unbelievable. Crystal Swirl at work, doing her dirty work, keeping women single and trauma bonding with her. Sasha was talking too much to like him most. Yeah, that's what I thought. She was talking. She liked him. I really think she did, and she probably told Crystal. Excuse me, my voice. She probably told Crystal, "I met this guy, and he's so nice." And Crystal started with the "Get that money, get that money. Don't give it up. Get that money, get that money." You know how she does. Okay, well, anybody else you guys got anything you want to say before I end this? I think she just got too comfortable too soon. You think Sasha got too comfortable with him? Is that what you mean, Smile? That she got too comfortable with Maestro? Yeah. It may have scared her. She probably liked him a lot and was trying to figure out what the feelings were that she was feeling and what she should do. And she just went to the wrong person about what to do. She shouldn't have been on the phone with him for hours. It's okay to have boundaries. Why do you say she shouldn't be on the phone? Yeah. You're right. You're right, Dan. She shouldn't have been on the phone with him? What do you say? I've talked to someone like that. We were long distance, and I've I mean, when you're long distance, that's all you have is to talk. This is really messed up. Well, anyway, if you guys don't have any other comments, I'm going to listen. She should have already been working and living her life and not dedicating too much time to him. Well, it's not that she wasn't living her life. Excuse me, as he said, before they met, she was already planning on going to school up in the area that he lives. She was already planning that. Still exhausted from yesterday. So am I. I am. Me too. But she was already planning on going to school where he lived before she even met him. And I don't know what her plans were as far was she gonna live in a dorm or what, but I mean, the apartment he was gonna get. I think Braun is trying to say that you must have talked to someone. Yeah, let's see. Like, how does he know she had no money? That's her first mistake. She should have been working. Well, okay, and okay. Maybe she told him too much. But and actually maybe her telling him that she don't have much money was part of maybe that was maybe okay, depending on when she told him that, which was probably during the good times. Um Maybe that was her just being honest, but at the same time that could be used as well, to get him to give her money and buy her things. I mean, because after all, she is listening to Crystal Swirl, so she might have been trying to get money from Maestro by telling him she don't have a whole lot of money, but at the same time, getting advice from Crystal to get more and more, push more, 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 more. That was that was not the best move to make. I mean, she's going to college. I'm pretty sure she's got some cash. I don't know. I don't like how they already got in disagreement so early. Really may not have been compatible long term anyway. Well, I mean, are you speaking? Because they were together for 3 weeks. Are you speaking of the little comments they made when she wanted him to lead, but she was telling him how to lead, or what was the other thing he said? Um, I can't remember what it was, but um, it was a small thing, whatever she said. But this situation here, this was Crystal. The other little disagreements, they were very minor compared to what's going on now. And people in relationships, that will happen. Oh, I'm the prize. I'm the prize. Well, that was her. That came from Crystal. That came from Crystal. And then his take on it, the man is the prize. That's I guess the manosphere, you know, part of him or whatever. I don't know. I don't know him that well, so not gonna say. But that 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 I'm pretty sure that prize conversation, it still did not end them like this situation did. Crystal should have minded her own business, but we all know she can't. Something she can't do. Yeah, that prize conversation that didn't that didn't end what happened to them. That wasn't the cause. That was a little bump in the road that they could have smoothed over. Apparently they did because things didn't get nasty until Saturday when she just we're not compatible. And that's a Crystal Swirls line. A Crystal Swirls line as well. I'm getting hoarse. But maybe it was to finesse him all along. Who knows? If Sasha thinks she's the prize and all that stuff, she could have gotten those things from him. She made mistakes, but she will learn that silence is essential in self development. Talk to him not good. Yeah, it is. And talking to and getting advice from the wrong people. I mean, she could have, I'm the prize, had that mentality. Oh, well, of course, she had it all along, and she could have had that, had the mentality, got the apartment from him, got the ring, the fur coats, all that, go to school, and she wanted to work, didn't have to work, not work, didn't matter. And still thought she was the prize. They can both think they're the prize and still have a good relationship as long as they understood that they're the prize for each other or whatever, like I said before. But when she let Crystal into it, that's where shit went downhill. Maybe that prize comment would have came up in another argument. Who knows? We don't know now. But when they had it at that time, it was enough. It wasn't enough to end it. See, she needs to learn her own boundaries and standards so she can listen to people. Hold on. Listen to people on YouTube for entertainment, not a life coach. Yeah, yeah. That's yeah. She's 20. She's she's legal age, but she's still her mind's still developing when it comes to relationships. There's a break somewhere in the area of healthy relationships, and Crystal Swirls is not the one to help with that. Well, thank you all for joining me, and just look out for my next videos of Crystal Swirls or whatever. And for those of you who saw my community post on eating the frog legs, that'll be coming up soon. Let's see. If you're not taught, most of us are dumb and still making big mistakes at 20. Yeah, that's why I think, he said her father was in the picture, but not necessarily in the home. And I think that was part of the problem. Oh, they kind of the start of her mindset, is yeah, black men, they don't stay in the home and single mother this and they don't stay, they leave your kids and my Crystal, my daddy left me and blah 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 blah. It's I don't know. They Everybody needs to stop listening to Crystal Swirl. She's not a relationship guru. She's not even in a relationship. Period. Anyway, I'm gonna go. Thank you for joining me. I'll see y'all next time. Good night.